Items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, brisket or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Feels.
The Jason Gregor Show.
First jump in front, 9-8. First quarter action. Davis, the deep catch. Once again. Wanted to go in, did not get it. It was awfully close.
On Sports 1440.
Yaremchuk for Philadelphia. Clinton the equalizer for Edmonton. Centering pass. Score. Drexel his 31st, but the battle was won behind the net.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
To second, and short hop, 4-6. There it was. He brought it to the side.
Well, a tremendous Thursday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It is also game day as the Oilers host the Montreal Canadiens tonight as the Oilers looking to get their offense in gear a little bit. The Canadiens looking to continue a hot start. They're 6-2, but they've only played one team who made the playoffs last year. You know what, though? You got to beat the teams that you should beat. And that's what they've done, going 5-2 against teams who didn't make the playoffs last year, including a 2-1 overtime victory in Calgary last night. So Montembeault versus Pickard tonight. We'll get into that. I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that Pickard is starting, but it's all right. I was doing a one-on-one with Adam Henrique afterwards, so I didn't get a chance to ask Knobloch because his press conference going at the same time. I'd just be curious as to what the reasoning is that Pickard's going to play 2 out of the next 3 when your starting goaltender's played very well thus far. So it might not matter at the end of the day, but it was just a little surprising to me. I thought it would have been Skinner tonight for sure against Montreal the way he's playing, but maybe they're going with they got a reason, and we'll see what it is. Regardless of who's playing net, it has really zero impact in the offensive side of the ice because that's the side that needs to get going. And their 2 best offensive games, their 2 most dangerous games came on home ice. Connor McDavid said, you know what, actually, I really liked how we started offensively. And then on the road, it just kind of went away. So maybe it'll come back in this pit stop of a home game, because that's right. They were on the road for 5. They're home for 1 before they go out on the road again. Seattle, Vancouver, Saturday and Sunday. The Jason Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. It's our favorite game on Thursdays, the Daily Grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. That's $7.3 million. Good luck. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. We have a loaded show for you today. Landon Ferraro will join us. We have Tony Marinaro giving us the Montreal side of things. Dave Owens is back. He's healthy. We'll talk about him. Wear your helmets, boys and girls. Also, TR will be by. Ken Reid's got a new book out. Talk to Reader about that and just a Blue Jays mania that is infecting Toronto and lots of parts across the country. Yaremchuk will be by as well in the 5 o'clock hour, talking all things Edmonton Oilers. We got Livingston as well. 5 questions. We'll hear from Connor McDavid, also from Matt Savoie, who's going to get promoted. And Matt Savoie, who I thought his game has gotten better. And the coach obviously sees the same thing. Matt Savoie had a few great chances last game, did assist, won a key face-off on that overtime goal by Jake Wallman. And he will start tonight on the top line with McDavid and Draisaitl. He'll just swap lines with Podkolzin. Podkolzin will play now tonight on the third line with Trent Frederick. And Frederick will move to the right wing with Phil and Podkolzin. The Nugent-Hopkins line stays the same. Mangiapane and Roslovic. Henrique's line stays the same with Ike Howard, fresh off his first NHL goal, and David Tomasic, who is still looking for his first NHL goal. So there you have it. The Montreal Canadiens, the local boy from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, Kirby Dach is coming back in the lineup. He's missed a few games with injury, so he is going to be amped up, playing in front of family and friends tonight in Edmonton as they try to win 2 games in a row for the first time this season. And we'll see if they can they score 3 goals 5-on-5 in a game, which they've yet to do. So we'll see. Other big news today in the sporting world is the NBA for all the wrong reasons. And man, some big names, Connor Halley, that have been arrested in this NBA gambling rink. There's 34 arrests, some including mafia families. There's Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier is involved, former NBA player Damon Jones. Like, this isn't great by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all. I mean, and it's an issue that the NBA's had for a long time, going back to, officials skimming points. And then, last year we saw it with Porter, a lesser known player, I would say, minimal player getting minimal minutes, taking the under. And then to have it with Terry Rozier, I mean, a bigger name, former first round pick. Declan will tell you, maybe not beloved by the Miami Heat fans this season or recently, but that's a bigger name, a guy taking an under with a massive bet back in 2023. And then you got a head coach from an organization in the NBA in Chauncey Billups, a guy who's an NBA champion, had a really good career playing as well, getting caught up in these high stakes poker games. It's wild. Did not wake up expecting to see 2 players in the NBA and a former player arrested, but I guess with the legalization of gambling, and I think this might be going back to previous, like it's scary that these things can happen. And it's surprising news from the NBA, and you got to wonder the trickle down effect from here, Gregor. Who else might be involved?
Yeah, so we will we'll see. This now they've investigated a lot. I know a lot of people are now, oh, what about this guy? What about this guy? Don't you think if they've arrested 34 people, they would have probably done a pretty extensive investigation? Because I think to just, guess, well, like nowadays when a guy misses a layup, people are going to think, oh, betting, right? And that's going to be the unfortunate part now. Because guess what? Guys and gals do miss layups. Whether it's in the NBA, the WNBA, in college, in your neighborhood game, right? You'll look like what looks like a gift, you miss it. It happens. That doesn't mean that, try and do it. Now, you look at some of these prop bets and different things like that aren't ideal. It'll be curious to say. I will say this though. I know because we had a lot of people saying you should eliminate gambling. I think too often in society we see a minority do something and like a very small percentage, right? Like this is a big investigation. How many active NBA players, Cons? 3?
Yeah.
Right. So there's 3. So you want to change everything because of 3? That doesn't really make sense to me. That's all I'm going to say. Like what's the NBA? You got 12 players on each team, right? 12 times 32. You're talking over 350 players, right? So we're talking 1%. We don't need to make drastic changes all the time for 1%. Hey, it was like when people were like, oh, get rid of fighting, ban fighting, even though all the studies said 2 to 3% of concussions, I think it might have been 4 actually at the highest, came from fighting. And that was during the era when there were basically hired guns to fight. Guys who were mammoth behemoths, big, tough, boxed all summer, and they were guys who could do some real damage. And thankfully, we didn't give in to that. You can look and say, why not just punish the cheaters? Don't punish the innocent. Punish the cheaters. Full stop. I think it's something we should do in everyday world, but just doing it in sports, we don't need to get rid of this because of a small group of idiots who did it. That's how I would look at it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm sure other leagues, you don't, and you can't be naive to think, oh, this has never happened in our league. Like I remember hockey people, no, NHL players would never take steroids. Remember that one for a time? And you're just like, pardon? What's one of the main goals in hockey? Faster, bigger, stronger. That's pretty much the definition of what you can benefit when you take steroids. Of course there was guys in the NHL taking steroids. You kidding me? I remember starting talking about, you could tell certain guys you fought, like that guy's, okay, that guy all of a sudden, has gone from bench pressing 200 pounds and now he's bench pressing 300 in a span of like a year. Not normal. So, and I'm just using that as an example. I don't know if anybody was actually ever doing those weights, but you get my point. You can't be naive enough to think that it would never happen in yours, but you can be very diligent to ensure it doesn't. Educate your players, talk to them on a regular basis, not just once. Like ask any parent, do you tell your kid one time, hey, you know what, don't do this? And then you just magically think they're not going to do it? Do you tell your spouse one time not to do something and they magically all just stop? If you do that, please let me know how you did it. That would be awesome. But I don't think that's necessarily the case.
It's almost got to be a mandatory, training camp type thing.
Well,
but I mean,
not in training camp. To me, I would do it during the season.
Just at some point where everyone's there, but
like multiple times.
Now you're watching, like just for Rozier, like we heard $200,000 somewhere around bets for the under. I mean, what's stopping a player from saying like, oh yeah, back tightness can't go, right? Because it was 9 minutes into the game. That's when he took himself out with injury.
Yeah.
Similar to Tait Porter. And though, I mean, hey, the gambling, whether it's legal or not, they're watching those numbers. If there's massive bets and then all of a sudden the guy takes himself out of a game due to injury, it's going to look a little suspicious. So a little more so with Tait Porter, I would say, than Terry Rozier. Yeah. But the people are watching. You pull those types of things and, just randomly there's a spike in bets on your unders. They're going to investigate.
Yeah. So it's a big story, though. No question. It's a big story. It needs to be discussed. And it needs to be dealt with rationally. So, hey, guys, you think Angel Reese is trying to fix games or just that bad of a player? Cat, see, there's a great example.
On. Beast on the boards, Cat. That.
No. Yeah, beast on, I don't know if there's
misses a lot of shots.
Like, is there, I wish you could count rebounds of your own missed shot as a separate category. Because, yes, she's unreal at that. That is a fun one. That's very true. So, I look at how there's at times players are going to struggle in a game. It doesn't mean they're always trying to fix it. That's all I'll say. Obviously, some were, clearly, but not all. I'm the NHL, though. You definitely is something that you have to have your eyes open to, no question. Hey, Greg's clearly McDavid's betting on not shooting from the slot. Is that even a bet? It's not. You can bet on how many shots he has. His total shots, I think, I'd have to look the last game what it was, but no. Actually, you know what? McDavid had a really open conversation today when the mics were off with myself and Spec just about, he's shooting. Because, at the start of the year, he said, hey, man, I want to score more. And says, hey, it's not necessarily going. At certain times, it's hard to change your habits. Not impossible, clearly, but difficult. And he's addressed it. His first thought is pass. He's always been that way ever since he was a kid. So as much as you'd like to be a shooter sometimes, when you got a split-second decision, you've always been looking pass, it's hard to just change that. But he's aware of it. He wants to shoot more, especially if he's in a good shooting position. But he still always thinks, I can be in a good spot, but the goalie probably thinks I'm going to shoot. So then if I pass it, and hey, we've seen it lots. He's made some unreal passes. Got way more assists than goals. So it's obviously been working for them. But yeah, there are times when he's just going to need to shoot more. There's no question about it. But clearly it's not just as simple as saying shoot more. That'd be like saying, hey, anybody out there, whatever's your favorite food that's bad for you, stop eating it right now. Ask anybody who smokes cigarettes. If you can now there's the odd person that can quit. Great. But usually you weren't smoking cigarettes your entire life. It wasn't something that you started at 6. Now, maybe back in the day, but not many 6-year-old smokers nowadays, right? From a young age, McDavid was a pass first type of player. And he'll always be a pass first type of player. He just needs to be shoot a little bit more type of player is what they would like to do. So we'll see. Hey guys, how will the NBA scandal impact this season for Michelle? Well, it's a good question, Michelle. I think it's definitely a story that's gonna be a cloud, I think, over the league a little bit, for sure. And it's probably going to be an ongoing investigation. Like, if you were a player who was even contemplating it, you would think today's news might be like, yeah, I'm out. Right? But hey, the mafia world doesn't live in kind of like the everyday person's world. Now, I've never had interactions with the mafia. I don't know what it would feel like to get squeezed by the mafia. I don't think it would just be like, I'm going to say no. Obviously, something's led to be in that position where they're trying to squeeze you. So, and if they are, they're not one where you can say, you know what? Well, rationally, if I talk to them, they're going to be like, you know what, Jason? Okay, I see your point of view. Thank you. Doesn't seem like that's how it works, Cons. I can't say 100% because obviously I've never dealt with it. But based on stories you read and things you see, not that easy to just say, well, how about you let me off this time? Doesn't seem to work that easily. So
I only know the movies, Gregor, and I know the line. I can't say it. Beep you, pay me, I believe is kind of what they go for. There's not much leeway there.
No, doesn't think so. So doesn't seem so anyway. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll hear from McDavid on his new line mate, Matt Savoie, the offense, and on the Toronto Blue Jays, as McDavid pretty fired up about the World Series. Enjoyed watching it. Says he has the utmost respect for baseball. Never played it as a kid. And I'll let you hear what he described and what he thinks is one of the hardest things to do in the sporting world. We'll get to that. We have Matt Savoie as well. Pretty excited about his opportunity to move to the top line with McDavid and Draisaitl. We got Landon Ferraro coming up and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-O'-Lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides beautiful product with incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It is game day here as the Oilers in action tonight against the Montreal Canadiens. You also have Connor Halley's Chargers Thursday Night Football taking on the Vikings. Also tomorrow, game 1 of the World Series. And if you missed it, Trey Savage will be pitching in game 1 for the Blue Jays. I don't think that the Dodgers announced who it is, but it's most likely I think it's going to be Blake Snell, but I don't think they've officially announced it. Did they call?
Yeah,
they did.
Snell.
Okay, good. All right, there you go. I was down in the room today, but I assumed it was, but I hadn't read anything official. So there you go. Game 1 started. Not a real big surprise, I think, either way. There was a chance, Goswin, but I think because he pitched Monday, they said, why not just give him an extra day off? And that's what they're going to do. So the young rookie who has shown tons of experience. He's also he's good at getting guys to strike out on strikes. Right? And the one thing that the Dodgers don't chase a ton of pitches. So this could be a pitching duel. I do not overlook the Jays' ability to get the bat on the ball and not just get the bat on the ball and make contact, but they're pretty good hitters. So we'll see. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Did you know that Go Auto has donated more than $24.1 million to local charities, and they take pride in supporting the communities where they live and do business? Fantastic from GoAuto.ca. As we welcome to the program pre- and post-game host here on Sports 1440, former NHL'er Landon Ferraro joins us. Landon, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Excellent, man. I am excellent. It's a game day. It's always exciting. It's kind of a weird schedule for the Oilers. 5 road games, come home for 1, back on the road for 2. It's kind of like an 8-game road trip, although they did get to sleep in their bed for a few nights. Edmonton's offense in their first 2 home games of the season was actually quite good. They generated a lot of chances. Demko stoned them, but it was almost like that just blew their confidence. And Connor McDavid admitted today that once we got on the road, we really didn't do much offensively for 5 games. They got 5 games a long time to do nothing offensively. They got to get going here tonight.
Yeah, and I'd say 5 games with some of the talent that they have on their bench and on the ice, it makes it even longer. I think last year there was such a, top-heavy part of the regular season where it was McDavid or Draisaitl scoring or no one really was. Then this year, like you alluded to, Mangiapane was scoring. Philp got a couple. Guys were starting to chip in, and then it just kind of dried up. It looked like it looked like the first games of previous years. I thought they got off to a better start this year and then kind of sat back and took their foot off the gas a little bit. I think the fact that the Oilers have, they get the win last game, and, that felt more of a team that has accomplished a decent amount, getting to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals and just finding a way to win. You can't rely on that consistently, but, the fact McDavid got his first goal, you're hoping that that's going to jumpstart him and really get him back into the swing of things. But they're going to have to commit to having more structure, I'd say, in the sense of getting on a forecheck, creating turnovers, capitalizing quick. That's where their team is very good at kind of having that quick hit offense, making a team pay when they mess up and not vice versa.
Matt Savoie has earned the promotion. I thought his game got better the longer the road trip went, and in Ottawa probably had a few really good chances, his best scoring chance of the season, and tonight he'll find himself on that top line. I talked to him about just the key to not defer too much. It's always a challenge for young players, and it's a challenge for veterans when you play with McDavid and Draisaitl. But the thing is, they don't want you to just defer to them, because that's not what got you there.
Yeah, deferring constantly is one of the quickest express tickets to getting moved back down the lineup, right? Like, you have to play to your strengths. And for Savoie, his number one strength, guaranteed, is his speed. Using that speed to get up the ice, get on the forecheck. He's beat out multiple icings this year just because he can fly. And once they get into the zone, he's got to trust himself. He puts up good numbers in the American League last year. Almost has 20 goals and just over 50 points. He has skill. He needs to play with confidence. He needs to make plays when they're there and use the best players in the world, but not rely on them, if that makes sense, right? Like, he has to trust himself when he gets a puck, make the read and make the play. Don't try and find where 29 or 97 are every single time, because for them, they're just playing the game. Yeah, they think the game at an incredible speed. They see things that other players don't, but a lot of the work off the puck is about getting open, finding those open ice spots. You can't do that if the puck's constantly just being thrown to you. You can't find those soft areas. Leon Draisaitl is so good at finding those soft areas on the ice. But if the puck's being kind of panic thrown to him every single time that Edmonton touches the puck, now he's losing one of his greatest strengths. So for Savoie, it's having that pinch me moment of, wow, I'm on a line with these two, but then quickly moving past it and just trusting himself, making plays, and not getting overwhelmed, which is so easy to say from the outside, but not getting overwhelmed playing with those two, understanding that they need him to do his job so that they can do theirs.
Jake Wallman came in, obviously made an immediate impact last game for the Edmonton Oilers. I thought they were cautious with his minutes, played 18 in a bid, first game back, hadn't played really since the playoffs. And, so tonight I probably expect to see him up above 20 minutes. But, last game again, Atlanta was a pretty solid defensive effort. Like, this team, the one thing that's been consistent is they haven't given up too many quality chances. And when they have, their goaltending for the most part has been pretty good.
Yeah, and I think that especially their top four is just going to get better the more Wallman settles in. But with him settling in, that allows Nurse to settle in a little bit more. All of a sudden, you go from an okay defensive unit to a very solid top four with Kulak and Emberson generally on that third pairing. That, like, those are all guys, for the most part, that can move pucks up the ice in a quick fashion. They can make those quick first reads and deliver a puck. Wallman has, we saw it on the overtime goal, like, he's got a cannon up there, and he needs to use that. I look at him in a lot of ways, not an exact, comparison, but for the shot-wise, like Hronek in Vancouver. But for Hronek, He's playing with Quinn Hughes, and he defers quite a bit. Walman needs to understand, and he does understand, like, he's on his pairing. He needs to be the shooter. He's great at finding that lane and delivering a puck to the net. He's got a good shot, but he plays solid D. He's mobile. That adds such a big piece to that back end. You know, they started this year, and I remember you listing off some of the stats earlier when I was on of how good they were defensively. I think they'll get back to that a little bit more as they tidy up everything and start to get a bit more cohesiveness between all the groups. But you have to like what Walman brings, a bit of physicality. He's not crushing guys, but he's hard in front of the net. He doesn't just let guys get to the front. He can shoot a puck. So, you know, I like having him back in there. I'm sure everyone in that locker room likes having him back in there. He brings a big piece, and that's why he got his long extension as well.
Landon Ferraro joins us here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The Montreal Canadiens are 6-2. They're off to a very good start. They've only played one playoff team from last year in Toronto. So, you know, maybe you got to take it with a grain of salt. Calgary fired 37 shots on goal last night for them, a team that can't score, and they followed that up with only one goal. What do you make of this Montreal team? I believe that they're a highly entertaining team. I still don't love their defensive group as a whole, of forwards or defense, but I think they're an entertaining team that's on the way up. And the next phase for them is to round out their roster properly. I think they got a lot of too much similar type players.
Yeah, I don't think your read on that's wrong. I mean, Dovish was excellent last night. As much as Calgary struggles to score, Montreal gave them some pretty good looks, and Dovish had to be really good. It took a Noah Dobson turnover out of nowhere, trying to take on three guys exiting his zone for Klapka to get his mini little breakaway and beat Dobish 5-hole. You know, I'm in the same boat as you. I think Montreal is an extremely entertaining team to watch, and I think a big reason of that is they can take a turnover and they have that quick offense out of it. They make plays fast. They get north extremely quick. So every time you're watching, you're always kind of waiting for that next play to be made. How are they going to cause a turnover and then get moving up the ice? They have young players that are continually figuring out their game. Nick Suzuki he's a very good player. He makes the right play 99% of the time. And to me, he never seems like someone that's going to make this unbelievable play or set someone up. And yet he just kind of casually makes the right play and delivers a puck. Cole Caulfield he's exciting, right? Like, he's got that big shot. He kind of pops up. He can be hiding in the weeds for a lot of the game, and then out of nowhere he gets that one shot and he rips it and it's in. Demidov is, you know, he's a few games into his career here and already making a difference. His assist on the overtime goal to Matheson last night was, I mean, like, honestly, it was pretty incredible. It looks like such an easy thing, but for a guy to pop his hips as soon as he gets that puck in the slot, pop his hips, and then continue on and just keep holding it, like the patience and confidence that you have to have, especially as a young player, to hold on to a puck like that, knowing that Matheson's coming off the bench and he can deliver it past him. It's a lot of fun to watch, but they do make some interesting choices in their own end. Every once in a while, you'll have a guy that blows the zone. You'll have one of their young D, or, you know, again, Dobson had a couple tough decisions last night. If you pressure them, they will make some mistakes, and that's where the Oilers need to make sure they have a lot of pressure up ice. They need to be coming back hard, having that backside pressure to cause a turnover, and then quick hit out of it, because they have some D that want to join the rush. They can get caught up ice a little bit, and out of that, especially with some of the speed that Edmonton has, can turn that around and have some odd man opportunities.
When you look at their offense, what do you see as the biggest thing lacking right now?
Are you saying Montreal or Edmonton?
Oh, Edmonton.
Edmonton. I'd say the consistency, and I believe it was last week we were talking about it, but like the consistency to get to the net and make the simple play. And that simple play is delivering the puck in to the blue every time that someone's in there. You don't want to take away the skill that a lot of the players have, but especially McDavid and Draisaitl. You don't want to take that creativity away. But at the same time, when things aren't going easy for them, where they're just making plays all over the place, there has to be that, call it a B game, that they sit back into. And that is direct north and delivering pucks to the blue, giving themselves a chance to get a greasy goal once in a while. They get caught on the outside a decent amount, and when they do put a puck in, no one's there, and it makes it pretty easy for the goalie in there to just, no one's covering or no one's blocking him. He's going to make that save and not give up a rebound 9.5 out of 10 times. So just getting bodies into the middle, making it a little bit tougher for the defensive team to play in their own end, not giving easy exits. They've, over the past 5 games or so, like, they've been a bit sloppy with pucks. Passes haven't been on the tape. They're having turnovers. It's just all those things where they're kind of feeling out the game instead of just diving into it and playing that hard, easy style, I think is something that has really caused some issues with them in the early part here.
Landon, great stuff as always, buddy. We appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome day. Enjoy the game tonight. And quickly, what's your thoughts on the World Series? What's going to happen?
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a baseball expert, but the Jays hit. They go. I don't know if that's just being Canadian and really hoping they get it done, because I can't remember the last time a Canadian franchise of any sport has won in my lifetime. It would be really fun to see them go, but I mean, the Dodgers, they're on quite a tear. And, as we talk about McDavid and Draisaitl all the time, that Ohtani's a pretty good player and causes damage.
Oh, well, you know what's funny about Ohtani? He had the one game with 3 home runs, but he's still only hitting .220 in the playoffs. So we'll see if he's been all or nothing for the Dodgers. The thing, and when he is all, he's pretty damn good. So we will see.
But also, though, like, we know what it looks like when a team has good vibes going into a series and what that can do for guys. It's, I hope they can carry that all the way through. It's been a fun brand of baseball. Like, they're either crushing the ball or really struggling. So hopefully they get on that tear and keep it going. It's been great to watch.
Awesome stuff, man. Appreciate it. Take her easy. Have a good one.
Yeah, you as well.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro joining us here every Thursday. Oilers taking on the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Now, Matt Savoie. Let's get to Matt Savoie and an extension of the Oil Report. As Matt Savoie, pretty good opportunity for the youngster to move up and play on the top line tonight with McDavid and Draisaitl.
Just been getting better and better, more consistent, getting more looks, more quality looks. I think that's important. I think I'd be a little bit disappointed or concerned if I wasn't getting looks, but getting good looks, getting good opportunities. So just got to keep chipping away, and hopefully one goes in here.
You've always been a high offensive player. You're going to play with 2 high offensive players. How do you ensure that you don't fall into the trap of distributing too much and, deferring too much?
Yeah, I think just having confidence in my game, continuing to play the way I've played, throughout the road trip. I think I was possessing it more later in the trip, carrying the puck more, using my speed. I think just the confidence to have the puck on my stick, and I think I just need to carry that into tonight.
When you play with those two, who obviously see the ice at a level that very few do, is thinking the game almost more important than playing the game with them?
Yeah, I think, you got to be in the right spots. You don't want to be too far ahead, too far behind. Timing is a big thing with those guys. So just getting on the same page, a lot of communication, a lot of talk out there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to skate and get up and down the sheet with those guys, and it'll be fun.
Coming off your first 5-game road trip with the National Hockey League, an opportunity to experience some cities and some arenas you've never been in. What stood out just from a kind of wow factor for you?
Yeah, pretty cool first trip of the road trip there. Never been to New York City, so it was obviously really cool to see the city and get to play in Madison Square. A lot of new barns that I've never played in, so that was a really cool experience. Just getting to the rink in the morning, being able to check it all out. take all the sights in. And it was nice. I think there's 4 or 5 guys that hadn't been in New York before, lots of the first-year guys. So it was kind of cool just to get out and about and experience the city a little bit and walk around a little bit and just see what it's all about. So, yeah, it was good.
Unique to play in an arena that's on the 4th floor.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're kind of just driving downtown with the bus, and you don't even really know you're getting to the arena. And then all of a sudden you're underground and you're walking up and it's Madison Square. So it was pretty cool. It's a busy city. I've never been there, so it was definitely a unique experience.
Did you get, like, what was the thing that kind of caught your eye in sightseeing?
I think just how many people there are. I mean, every street we walked down, ton of people. We went to some good dinners, and whenever you're walking to the restaurant, there's just boatloads of people on the side, no matter what time it is. Yeah, it's a busy city, and there's lots to do there.
You look at this is almost like an extension of the road trip. It's a 1-gamer, then you're back on the road for 2. And the offensive best 2 games of the season were your first 2 at home. That's something maybe the group can rally around tonight to get everybody back on track offense.
Yeah, I think we were excited to get home. After the long road, obviously, kind of get that back in front of our fans and back at home and in front of our building. And it's exciting. I mean, getting home for 1 game, you're on the road for a long time playing in front of other fans. So it's exciting, even if it's just for 1. So hoping to build off this one and get some momentum from it.
Well, Savoie will be looking for momentum. And hey, right now the Oilers are looking for anybody who can help out offensively, because 5-on-5, this team has struggled. They have scored more than 1 goal 5-on-5 in only 2 games this season. So they'll be looking to get a little 5-on-5 scoring going tonight to generate some chance, and more importantly, just try to generate some consistent offensive momentum. Right? When the Oilers are rolling, you'll see them have 2, 3, 4 shifts in a row where, they're hemming in the opposition, then maybe a penalty comes. You just feel the momentum. There hasn't been a lot of momentum building shifts for the Edmonton Oilers so far this season at 5-on-5, and we'll see if that changes tonight against the Montreal Canadiens, who when they come to town, it's obviously going to be a little bit louder in the building. There's always the go Habs go Oilers go chants, which I think is great. I think it honestly adds to the atmosphere in the rink. It's a lot louder than a normal regular season game, and to me that makes it more fun. So I would expect it to be a little bit louder tonight at Rogers Place. When we come back, something that many of you could use either tonight or tomorrow when the Jays get set to play the LA Dodgers. We'll discuss it next on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-O'-Lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.245 on a game day, Thursday afternoon. The Montreal Canadiens come to town. The Canadiens, this will be their second game of the season against the team who made the playoffs last year. They are 0-1 in those games. They lost to Toronto, but they are 6-1 in their other 7 games of the season, including a 2-1 overtime victory last night in Calgary. They beat Detroit, who's rolling 5-1. They beat Buffalo 4-2. Beat Chicago 3-2, Nashville 3-2, and Seattle 5-4, and they've lost to the Rangers and the Maple Leafs. So we'll see. The Oilers just looking to try to get some traction going on their season thus far, as they are looking to get their 4th win of the season and improve to 2-0-1 on home ice. I think their 2 best offensive games, no question, occurred the first 2 games of the season against Calgary and Vancouver. They generated a lot of shots. They had 35 and 37 shots in those 2 games. But unfortunately, in the 5 games since, they have had a grand total of 128 shots. So, an average, not much better. Like, what is that? 21, like 20, 25 shots a game. So not ideal at all. So they want to get their offense back on track tonight. And hey, we'll get things back on track when it comes to your taste buds. As we get to Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations. They got the OG on St. Albert Trail and 118th Avenue, and on the southeast side on 50th Street and 92nd Ave. If you're looking for beer, wine, cocktails, or non-alcoholic cocktails and beer, they got it all. The best selection in the city. Sherbrooke Liquor. As David Owens joins us once again, he's back off the IR. Dave's is gonna give us a little reminder of why you should wear a helmet when you're biking.
Yeah, well, I actually brought you some show and tell on why you should wear a helmet.
Oh yeah, you cracked it pretty good. Eh?
Oh, I cracked it pretty good. Yeah,
look at that. It's just like a part. Oof.
Yeah,
thanks.
Both sides of it.
Wow.
Yeah, on the side.
How'd you wipe out? Where were you?
I was on Vancouver Island. I was on Mount Suhalem. It's a great little spot. And I was with my buddy, he's the guy that coaches the World Cup champions and stuff like that. And anyways, we were coming down this trail. I was taking it easy that day, and he was waiting for me at the bottom, and he saw me come down, and then he saw me disappear, and he heard this loud crack, and he came back, and I was out cold. The bike was still between my legs. I maybe slid forward, 4 or 5 feet. That was it. And so I literally I must have hit some, like a bit of these wet roots. There's a braid of roots there, and I just hit them and just went right over and bam.
Head first. Done.
Head first. Yeah, done. So I tell you, if I wasn't wearing that helmet,
you might be a goner.
I'd be a goner.
Yeah, 100%. Or you'd be in very rough shape.
Rough shape. Yeah.
So
my brain would never be the same.
No, definitely not. So
yeah. So
well, it's good to have you back. So
yeah, pleasure to be back.
You had a few weeks off in concussion protocol.
We'll
say. So there you go. You've come back, and what are we trying today?
Oh man, we're doing a tasting with Bridgeland Distillery here, and these guys are phenomenal. They're out of Calgary.
I like their bottles.
They've got great packaging, but really the product is amazing. These couple of guys, they've they've been so popular with their whiskeys. They've actually made it into Forbes magazine for an article, because like these guys are like, where's like Calgary making
Bridgeland Distillery, really?
limoncello and Amaro and things like that. And so yeah, they are fantastic. And everything's made there. They distill it, they age it there, they barrel it, they bring in all the barrels. They're from Europe. Most of them come in from Italy, and they're all like French oak and American oak that have had a variety of things. And then they also do something unique too, that a lot of their spirits that are either cocktails or mixes, when they want, instead of buying a wine barrel to do it in, they actually make the wine themselves and then use the barrel if they're doing a wine cask thing or something like that. So they really switched up. They're really hands-on and are making some really amazing products. And the first one is getting ready for holiday time. Italians love this stuff, and everybody else. But limoncello. And the limoncello is typically an aperitif, something you can make a spritz out of it. And typically it's really sweet. And they're using like a grain spirit, and they are a lot of lemon zest and stuff in it. These guys are actually using a grape based spirit.
Got a little pop to it.
It's got a little pop. And
wow, that is not, you're right, because limoncello is normally sweet.
Yeah. And
that almost tastes like a whiskey.
Yeah. So they're making a grape based limoncello. Ooh. They also don't put the lemons in it. They just take the vapors. So these organic lemons, they sit on the top of this screen and take it in. And then they also they don't add sugar to it. They only add honey, and they get their honey from a farmer be out of close to Calgary there. And so this is their famous limoncello.
Ooh, it's pretty darn good, man. It's it's got a little whiskey, but you can taste the lemon in it. And it's a lot warmer, I find, than a lot of limoncellos.
It's warmer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's I find, because you and I both aren't huge sweet fans.
No. To drink. I like to eat
drink.
sweets.
Yeah. and so I like some limoncellos, but I can only have like a sip of it and I'm done. Whereas this, you could actually enjoy a full beverage, or like you say, mix this and make a spritz out of it. It's amazing.
All right. Well, that is a very unique limoncello. I have to say that's not
very
sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. Very well. I guess if they're, they did whiskey, they kind of almost stay true to the roots in the whiskey.
In their whiskey sort of style. Yeah. Exactly. But this is all, it's unaged, doesn't go into a barrel or anything.
Really?
And it's in a great base. So it's, this is all just like natural lemon vapors and honey that are going into it. So super natural. Like I said,
so it's good for you, is basically what we're saying.
It's good for you.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I like it.
All right, then we're gonna move on to their Amaro. This is their Spalumbo's Amaro.
So what's Amaro?
Amaro is it's another bitter aperitif kind of beverage out of Italian again, and they had they made this for the Spalumbos. They're famous in Calgary as a side thing, and they started selling it on their own because it was so popular. And so this is something you do this, either on its own, just like it is right now. I like to drink mine like that, where it's not on the rocks. You can have it on the rocks. You can use Amaro.
Is there honey in that?
This one here. No, I don't think so. It's just it's got that, vanilla star anise in there, bittersweet chocolate,
that's
lightly spiced.
That is one of the
caramel.
more unique tasting cocktails I think I've ever had. Like it's sweet, but not remotely it's not overpowering sweet at all.
And so you could use this in like a Manhattan or even an old fashioned instead to change it up.
I would sip on that for sure.
Yeah.
That is really good.
Mm-hmm. Again, there's lots of character, and Amaros are very different from all over. No Amaro is the same.
For those of us watching on the YouTube stream,
this one's got a lot of character to it,
and on X and everywhere else. Here's the bottle if you want to check it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Bridgeland Distillery.
A
Spalumbo's Amaro. I have to say, I don't think I've ever had it tastes a little bit like amaretto.
Yeah, I can see where you're getting that a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
A little bit. Yeah.
But it's all natural. It's all natural sweetness. So it is. It's a really fantastic, like 18 herbs and roots that it's infused with, and
Now the next one is Tabor Corn Bourbon.
Tabor Corn Bourbon, spelled BERBON,
BON,
because we can't call it real bourbon because it's not from the United States of America.
Right.
So this is their bourbon style whiskey, and this is a tried and true full on regular everyday whiskey. Yeah. So say anything you use bourbon in.
Yeah, the corn malt, it
use
definitely the corn malt Tait, it's not as sharp or kind of hit you as much as I find bourbon does. Bourbon is an acquired taste. If you want to drink bourbon, bourbon is kind of like a light scotch sometimes, I find.
Sometimes.
But this one's a lot softer and easier to go down.
Softer. And they use 60% Tabor corn out of this, 32% of the Penfolds barley, and 8% Penhold wheat. And, one of the other cool things about Bridgeland is they use 100% Alberta local malt and grains in their stuff. So to be certified craft malt in Alberta, you have to have 15% in your mix. That's it. They use 100%.
Okay. Perfect.
So it's a low bar, but
let's support the locals. I'm all over that. I love it.
Exceed it. So,
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really spectacular. So, and again, great. Anything you would use a bourbon for in your cocktails, replace it with this.
Now you have the next one that's the Tabor Corn Whiskey Bourbon 101. So it's just the same, but it's darker.
So this is exactly the same piece, but it's bottled at 50.5%.
Oh geez.
So the first one's at about 45. This is just over 50. So in the US, you'd call this like bottled and bond, anything over 100% kind of thing. And so this is a
I can feel the hair growing on my chest in one sip. My God.
On the rocks.
That is not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that.
It's a sipper.
You got to be a real bourbon drinker to take that. Oof. Tastes good, but it's amazing the difference between the Tabor Corn Bourbon and the Tabor Corn Bourbon 101. Yeah.
One of the things I like to do when I'm tasting whiskey.
God, it's almost like hot, like really.
Yeah, it's got a little bit. You can there's a little bit of heat in there.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to do when I'm tasting whiskey, and it's not always for the faint of heart, but I like to actually hold it in my mouth, chew it a little bit, and when it starts to kind of burn, I'll hold it for like 5 more seconds, and then you can swallow. And what that does is it's just allowing the natural saliva in your mouth to do what a drop of water or something like that would be in the whiskey, and so you'll really open up all the flavors of it by holding it for a bit, and then
oh my God, that makes a massive difference. It's almost like you taste it more on the top of your mouth.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So you hold it. Wow.
Hold it. Yeah. Hold it until it starts to burn, and then.
But it doesn't. It's
a little
funny.
bit longer.
I didn't feel like it was as hot, but it tastes like it was infinitely more flavorful.
Yeah, because it'll tone down, and that's just the natural. It's just like adding a drop of water, but using your natural
saliva. Huh.
Yeah.
Dave, I like it. I learned stuff on here.
Right.
Ooh,
fantastic.
That is a way different flavor. It's amazing. Like it tastes way better.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it really tones down those.
Like, they should tell people this. Like this should be. You might have to have a how to drink properly little pamphlet that you can
that's
put
what
in
we're
Sherbrooke.
doing right now.
Well, we are doing that right now, but you go to Sherbrooke and you should have it when you leave. Hey, hold it in your mouth for 5 seconds.
A little longer. Yeah, absolutely.
And then, I can't believe what a difference it makes. Like do the first one without it.
Yeah.
And then take a sip later and then hold it for 5 seconds.
Yeah. And really, I do that with almost any spirit is because it just helps tone down the alcohol in it. So you can actually taste what's in the background of that spirit, like grain or malt or whatever.
Do you do that with wine too?
I hold it a little bit with wine, but not as long. But I kind of aerate it with wine and things like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And to wrap it all up, finish it all up, we have their old-fashioned cocktail. So they use their Bridgeland's Young 3-grain whiskey, which is 60 corn, 32 Penhold, 8 bars. So 8% Penhold wheat instead of rye.
Okay.
Is the base. And then they mix it with their orange liqueur, some bitters, some organic simple syrup, and they're pre-mixed old fashioned.
You go,
pour in your glass, that's nice, and you're ready to go.
Smooth, very smooth, goes down super easy if you like the old fashioned.
And I think there's nothing wrong with having a pre-batched cocktail in your house. Sometimes you come home from work, you want an old fashioned or a Manhattan. And you don't want to have to go through or have all the different bottles, in your closet or something like that.
And you recommend you don't store these in the freezer, right?
I don't store them.
No, store it.
Yeah. Shelf room temperature.
Because what does it do in the freezer? It takes away what?
So it cools it down. So you start taking away that flavor, right?
Okay.
So anytime you ice something up, it tones down that flavor in there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
well, I have to say, I learned something about the 5-second hole that definitely brings out the flavors in it. And Bridgeland, 100%. Lots of Alberta products in there, so we love that. And a real wide range from bourbons to old fashions and Amaro,
Yep.
and limoncello. So
and they,
check it out.
they've got several other products in their lineup also that we also carry. I think they've got a Manhattan in there. They've got some eau de vies, things like that. So if you're curious about this today and you tried something here or you heard something you liked, Otwell tomorrow is actually doing a complimentary tasting from 3 till 7. I think they're scheduled, and Bridgeland's going to be there with a whole bunch of their stuff.
Oh, so tomorrow's a big taster from 3 to 7.
Taster, 3 to 7.
Stop in, boys and girls.
Pop in, have a taste, and grab some stuff for the Jays game. And also, Jays games, just like Oilers playoffs, bring your weary Jays gear in, jersey, hats, whatever. 10% off everything in both locations.
At Sherbrooke.
At Sherbrooke.
So it's Friday, Saturday, and then, of course, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Yep.
Awesome.
100%.
Awesome
100%.
stuff, Dave. Thanks, man. Glad to hear you back on track.
Yes.
Good thing you wear a helmet.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Me too, yeah.
You definitely need to. Awesome.
Awesome.
Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Winter's coming. You know it is. You're trying to put it off. You need some winter tires. Well, guess what? 15% off all winter tires right now at Fountain Tire. Final location near you, fountaintire.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It is game day in the city. The Oilers take on the Montreal Canadiens. Puck drop just after 7. Our pregame coverage gets going at 6 with Walker, Halton, and Landon Ferraro. Elsewhere, you got the Flyers and the Sens. Lightning taking on the Blackhawks. Ducks in Boston. Blues host the Mammoth. Canucks in Nashville taking on the Preds. Jets host the Kraken, and the Hurricanes battle the Avalanche. Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones have been arrested as part of a league-wide ranging investigation related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the Mafia. The NBA said both have been placed on immediate leave by their teams. On the court, 2 games tonight. Pacers host the Thunder at 5:30. At 8 o'clock, you got the Nuggets taking on the Golden State Warriors. And Week 8 in the NFL kicks off this evening. Chargers host the Vikings. That one gets going at 6:15 from the majors. The Blue Jays announcing Trey Savage will get a start tomorrow night in Game 1 of the World Series against the Dodgers, who will counter with Blake Snell. Coming up in Hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our Thursday co-host, Terry Ryan. We'll also hear another edition of CanPage 2-Minute Warning and speed things up in the CanTorque Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sani dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to JasonGregorPizzaPigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
right.
Alberta's only
Try-
regulated
Good thing you wear
online
helmets.
website.
Yeah.
It's good. Just after 3 o'clock. How are you on a Thursday afternoon game day on the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching the show. It's always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game and use the promo code Gregor50. You make a $50 deposit, use the promo code Gregor50, and you'll get another $50. And it's a pretty sweet deal at PlayAlberta.ca. We got a lot of texts to get to. You can always text us 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can email us in our inbox, Gregor at sports1440.ca. Got a few texts coming in. Hey, boys, you think Savoie will be nervous? Yeah, maybe, Jack. I guess I like nervous and excitement. It's a real fine line. I don't, you know what? Like, he's been now around the team for basically 6 weeks, right? With captain skates and stuff. Like, I think he'd be more excited. Like, you're Matt Savoie. Like, look at the opportunity you got in front of you. I don't think there's much reason to be nervous. Like, no one's expecting him to carry the line. And honestly, like, I don't know if they're like, well, Matt Savoie better score. He's not going to play there. I don't think that it's like that much pressure, to be honest. Just perform well, make some plays. How about have some help be part of extended offensive zone time, which that line really hasn't had. And honestly, that more so should be on the shoulders of McDavid and Draisaitl, if we're being honest, right? Those are the guys who drive a line. Those are the guys who should be making the plays to have extended offensive zone time. And it's not like they'd be non-existent in the offensive zone. But from what we've seen the last 5 years, these 7 games have been rather pedestrian by the order standards of 5-on-5 play, especially for 29 and 97. I think that's totally fair. Like, how many 5-on-5 points they got? Not many. Is it 2 or 3 combined between them? Not good. So if Savoie gives him a spark, that'll be a huge bonus. Like, maybe his spark is just he gets to some loose pucks and maybe he doesn't even end up with an assist or a goal tonight. But if he helps him have an extended zone time, I think that'll be a good thing. We welcome in Terry Ryan, as always, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, a star of Shoresy. TR, how you doing, man?
Not bad at all. Enjoying the day, enjoying the fall season. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty. Hey, when are you filming Shoresy next?
I'm not sure when we're filming it. They're doing a show now called Kill the Bear, the same production company, and Jared. It's another Jared Kiso vehicle, but we're going on tour. We're gonna in just a few weeks. We're going in to play Toronto and then Detroit. We're spacing out these games, alumni. We're going to Boston, the Rangers, the Islanders. We're actually coming out there late January. We'll be Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. So we're coming out there as well. So I know that's coming first, and then I'd be surprised if we don't film right after that.
All right. Okay. Just checking.
But season 5 is not out yet. That's coming out.
Yes.
I believe at Christmas time, right? And then we'll shoot another one after.
Okay. Because I know you're guaranteed at least 6 seasons for sure. So and hopefully more. Looking at that, because we just had that question about Matt Savoie, right? And I know you're a young guy coming up in the NHL. Now, you didn't get to play with guys like McDavid or Draisaitl, but still, you had some good NHL players on your team. Where's the balance between nerves and excitement when you get that opportunity to play in a top line?
Oh, God, yeah. My first game ever. It was exhibition, but it was in the Montreal Forum, and it was one of the last, it was sold out. We were playing against Boston Bork. Everybody was playing the game. So just giving you context for my own, I was 18 years old. I was nervous at the camp anyway. I was a Montreal fan. And then they just thrust me, and I didn't play exhibition games up until that point. I stayed with the team practicing and everything. And then for some reason, I remember Jacques Demers actually said to me, you've worked hard in the camp, you've worked really hard. And I remember I didn't do great for a first round pick. I had cameras in my face every day. I thought I did poorly, but anyway, he begged to differ and said, you want a game before you go back to junior? You're going to have to miss the home opener tomorrow. I said, well, of course, I'd love to play in the NHL, obviously. And he put me on there with Mark Recchi and Pierre Turgeon were on my line. Yeah. So, I remember being like, it was a bit overwhelming, like not only just having those guys, but going out and playing in the Forum and just the cameras and the fans I remember being overwhelmed. You're right. Is it nervous energy? How do you harness all that? I didn't really know. I remember being a bit overwhelmed that day. I did score. It's on YouTube. The puck came out of the corner, and I kind of kicked it in the net, but it counted. And I had a fight. So the boys took me out afterwards, and it really, really lifted my spirits, and there was a monkey off my back. And then from that point on, especially as the years went on, and this isn't Savoie, it's not like he's 18, it's his first camp. I remember being in a sense of admiration, but I wasn't really that nervous anymore about making a play. I was actually excited about, I didn't play with those guys a lot, but it did happen. And, I remember, like a constant state of admiration for the players I was playing with, but I was almost excited. I wanted to make a good play with Mark Recchi or Saku Koivu. And I would think that's what Savoie's think. I mean, I can't speak for him, but I would think he's been there a while enough to know these guys will be comfortable.
Yeah, well, he's been there for 6-7 weeks. If you go back to the captain skates, and he was there, in the past. So there is there's a fine line where this is also a huge opportunity for you, right? Like this is what you play for. So I just don't know if you're a little nervous. You might be nervous for the first shift or two, right? But it's not like in the second period you're like, oh my God, I'm very nervous.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I might have mentioned this before, but I would go right up and tell the people I was playing with just to get it off my chest. And it would make me feel better. I'd just say, guys, honestly, put yourself in my position. Let's just be realistic here. I watched you guys at Merck. I got your hockey card, for God's sakes. Now we got to go out there and play together. Just like that. No qualms. Oh, just like that. You got to know how I'm feeling here, because it's hard for me to explain, but I know if anybody here knows it, Rex, you know it. You played in the Western League just a few years ago. You went through just like I did. Now, I remember, I'm not exaggerating this. I remember exactly having that conversation. Rex might have opened the door to the conversation, I believe, but I went right there with it. And then it's all out there, and I just felt better about it. And Now there's so many teams and a different era, but for me, the Canadians, it's almost like there was an innate sensibility within the team. That's just what you do. You be professional, you show up and, do your work. I mean, that's the way the NHL should be, but it seemed in Montreal that, with so many unbelievable leaders and champions over the years, that was just a characteristic that you were supposed to kind of stumble upon yourself. You're supposed to be professional as a Montreal Canadian. So when all that dust settled and you realize these are just players, I'd rather have that conversation, and it usually worked out good for the mind.
Now, did you get him to sign your hockey card?
I got him to give me a stick and signed. Yeah,
okay.
I did. Yeah, I did. And I went, and we're in camp. Honestly, I won't want to waste too much of your time, but honestly, the first day I met Rex was we were having inter-squad games, and I came out, and he said, yeah, my name is Mark Recchi. They call me Rex. That was the first day. Okay, this is a few weeks before that. And I said, yeah, I'm Terry Ryan. And I was going to say they call me Noof, because they do call me Noof out west, where I played junior. But I got it mixed up, and I said Roof. I said they call me Roof. I got Ryan and Noof, and I started stuttering, and then I fell down, and I slipped and fell. And right before that, I was so nervous I was puking in the room. So I had puke on my face. I fell down in the boards, like in the gate where you go on the ice. I said I'm Roof, and then Patrick Waugh was in net. Okay, and I went out, and I'm telling you objectively, I did not play well, but the puck. There was a rebound and it landed right there, and I put it up under the bar. I scored a goal. I just, those games that you score a goal, but you didn't play well. And then he says, "Oh yeah, now I know why they call you Roof." And they were calling me that all camp, and it took me next year to go back and say, "Guys, they don't call me for that at all. It's Noof." Obviously, Newfoundland.
You just should have kept. You just should have kept Roof. That's a good nickname. Hey, Roof, what's going on?
There was an element to my first camp of a little boy talking to his idols. That's what it was. And it took that game, but that game was at the very end of camp, right? And I was there early. So I was there. The draft was July 8th. It got pushed back because of the lockout. And then World Junior Camp was in Montreal, and I just stayed there, right? So I was there for 2 months, but speak when spoken to, head down. And then I remember that being a real, motivational kind of opener to me really meeting the guys.
Yeah, no, that's wild. But I could, so you're nervous there. I could see it. If Matt Savoie was nervous at captain skates and everything else, exhibition, sure. But, he has played a few shifts with those guys. So I think he should be all right tonight. But TR, when you watch the Oiler games and you look at their offense, clearly that it's, especially on the road trip, the 5-game road trip, their offense was bordering on anemic. It rarely had consecutive shifts. Even in Ottawa, they were up 2-0, but they had 12 shots on goal through the first 40 minutes. Right? That used to be a period for the Edmonton Oilers. Never mind, 40 minutes. And while it was 12 shots, there weren't a ton of scoring chances out of those 12 shots either. But they were up 2-0 and basically scored on 2 really good shots by McDavid and Howard at that point. And it's safe to assume that their offense is going to find their way, because I just can't see McDavid and Draisaitl scoring at this pace for much longer. They're just too good of players. But you do have to do certain things better. You can't just say, well, we keep doing the same. Because if you would have told me after the Vancouver game, just keep doing the same things, I'd agree with you, because the Vancouver game was their best offensive game by a mile. They generated a ton. Demko stood on his head. He was unreal. Heck, Tomasic could have 3 or 4 goals that game, just himself alone. But since that game, there's not a lot of games where I look and say, yeah, okay, they scored 2 goals, but, geez, they could have had 4 or 5. They played really well. That hasn't been the case. If you're Chris Knobloch or you're the players, what is step 1 to getting the offense back on track?
Now, that's a great question. And there's all kinds of ways, I guess, I could go with that. But if it's me, I think step 1, okay, I'm looking at this situation, as you just mentioned. The Vancouver game, I thought, was their best game of what I've seen, and I've seen most, and I've gone back. It seemed that they were the most engaged. I thought they looked like Jersey almost took it to them, they were, and the Oilers are almost reacting. They're because Vancouver were on their heels, they were almost waiting to see what Edmonton were going to do. So I find Edmonton are are waiting until the other team kind of dictates the play. And for a team like the Oilers, which is so offensive, and I know this is going to pop at some point, Bouchard too, on top of those two guys. I mean, he's not just going to get no 5-on-5 points and no goals. But again, looking from afar, they're not penetrating the middle of the ice. And I don't just mean the front of the net, but that is something. Now, that'll improve when Hyman gets back. But it's weird because it's the Oilers and known for all this offense. And I don't know what it is. It seems that they're not. Confidence is one thing, but the puck is bouncing a lot. They don't seem to be making tape-to-tape passes. And that middle of the ice is like totally foreign to them. Now, I get using your speed to the outside and all that, but they're just not. They just don't seem to be effective going into the middle when they often dominate those plays, and then they get going and, it's almost, you got to keep your head on a swivel and all of a sudden when the Oilers have you in their zone, right, they're all over the place and they usually get good generated chances from the front of the net. Even if you go back when they use them in the breakout, they're usually somewhat, unless they're using pure speed, they penetrate the middle a little bit, but it's like teams are keeping them out there. It's like they're not scared, but it's just the way they're playing is tentative.
Yeah. Oh, tentative is a great word. I would agree. Like there's not a lot of consistent threats offensively where you kind of roll, like Terry Ryan has a good shift and then Recky's line comes out and they have a good shift and then Turgeon line comes out and they have a good shift, right? There hasn't been a lot of carryover from one line to the next because rarely is one line having even a whole shift in the offensive zone.
Yeah, and I remember this being a little bit of a thing last year, even going into the playoffs, and then Kane kind of stepped up and other players refined their game, and because meaning that it's almost, it seems now that they don't have much of an identity, right? And they should, having so many players that have played and competed for Max, the last couple of years, right up until the final. The new guys, it's not like they're brand new. They come in, they're either veterans from other teams, or in Savoie we just talked about, he's been with the organization. There's no reason for them to be nervous, but it just doesn't seem like they have much of an identity. It's like their guys are right there and scorers are almost, and, grinders maybe, but it's just no one's putting it all together. It's like they're again, I don't want to beat that dead horse saying tentative, but it's something. Now, of course, is a level of it fatigue, especially if I was one of the better players. I mean, you go all the way to the final game 7, the final game 6. A lot of them played 4 nations, got the Olympics to think about. So there's a lot on their plate, and sometimes it takes players, even the best in the world, a little bit of time to get going at the beginning of the season when you haven't had much of a break and you're just coming off of summer.
Take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to hear from Connor McDavid and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal? Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Low Tide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Mr. Ruther meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rudolph.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Ruther.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
'26. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Terry Ryan, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. As we roll through on game day, orders taken on the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens were victorious last night in Calgary, 2-1 in overtime. They obviously didn't skate today. Kirby Dach, though, will return to the lineup tonight for the Montreal Canadiens. Also, Montembeault, who did not play yesterday, will be the starting goaltender tonight. Patrick Laine is still hurt for the Montreal Canadiens. Meanwhile, the orders, they did move Kasperi Kapanen officially. He's on IR. Janmark's not coming back anytime soon. So, Regula's getting very close. He practiced again today. And so Regula likely will come off IR here maybe as early as this weekend, by the sounds of it, for the Edmonton Oilers. So they'll get a healthy body back there. And they won't have to send anybody down if they don't want, because they don't even have enough guys in the active roster right now with Kapanen go to IR. So they could easily activate Regula for the weekend set. Zach Hyman still, didn't skate today, did skate yesterday with the team. So I might have skated on his own this morning, I understand. So he's still doing well, but obviously the earliest he can play is November 1st. So I'll say this: next week, when the Oilers return and they're practicing, they got a few games at home, we'll have a good sense of where Hyman is when you get to Monday or Wednesday. Is he practicing with the team on non-game days? That's got to happen first. If I don't see him on the Wednesday, you think he's going to play on the Saturday? Probably doubtful. You got to think he's got to practice a few days with the team before he's going to be activated from LTIR. So we'll have a better sense of his return. They feel like things are going well, but obviously he can't return before then. So we'll see what happens with him. Now, Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you, Sports 1440. Tomorrow we'll have lots of Jays talk, of course, the World Series. What do you make of Trey Savage, TR, getting the start tomorrow for game one?
Yeah, I like it. What's not to like? The guy's put on a show. He's young. He's energetic. He's enthusiastic. He's confident. He's humble. He's as good a pick as any of the boys. I'm happy with the 4 starters, what it seems like it's going to be. Even for Scherzer, people are questioning it. But whatever, what did you bring him in for? And to go back to you, Savage, I have all kinds of confidence. They got their work cut out for them, but I don't see any better guy to lead the way.
Yeah, I don't, you know what, whether he's in game 1 or game 2, I don't think it really matters. You know what, him and Gosman are just probably games 1, game 2 starters, and away we go, and it makes sense. And, you know, he's got his work cut out for him. Not that he's going against him per se, but on the other, when he's not on the mound, it's going to be Schnell, who's been very good for the Dodgers. So, you know what? Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I think there'll be lots of watch parties across the country tomorrow as the Jays and the Dodgers get set. For the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays are in the World Series. Should be some fun times. Now, let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in business, one of the most diversified electrical contractors in Alberta. And guess what? They're hiring 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year electricians. Looking for a great place to work, highly competitive wages, and lots of opportunity for internal growth? Go to careers@actionelectrical.net. That's where you send your resume. careers@actionelectrical.net. And had a chance to catch up with Connor McDavid today, and McDavid discussing just kind of, hey, where the team is at, and first off, just the opposition tonight in Montreal.
Well, they got great D-men that all move well. They move the puck well. Really speeds up their game. They got great forwards that are playing well. They're a good team. We got to be ready to roll.
Been 7 pretty consistent games defensively for your group. You haven't given up a ton. But what have you liked about your defensive play?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're getting good goaltending. That's been the saving grace, really, is we're getting saves. We've given up chances, like every team does. I think we have areas that we can clean up for sure, but we're getting great goaltending. It's been great.
Usually a good defense. Oh, you guys always talk about good defense lead to good offense. I think the 5-on-5 play collectively as a group isn't where you need it to be. What have you seen? What needs to get better 5-on-5 offense?
That's a good question. Yeah, the whole thing just seems a little bit off. I said that the other night, but the whole thing just seems a little bit off. But, great opportunity here tonight at home. It's a great team to get it going.
Connor, it's always a unique atmosphere when Montreal or Toronto come to town. What's it like as a player? It's fun as a fan because they're half the building with Montreal fans. What's it fun?
It is fun. These games are always fun. It's exciting when the crowd's into the game, and when a team like Montreal rolls in, or Toronto, as you said, the crowd's always into the game. It's always fun. Really looking forward to this one.
Connor, it's like Matt Savoie's getting the look on your line today. It looked like he could have scored once, twice, maybe 3 times in that last game. Can you maybe talk about what you've seen from him so far this year?
He's playing really well. He's got a great engine on him. He skates really well. As you said, with a little bit of luck, he scores 1 or 2 last game, and he's off and running. So, but he's playing really well. He's dug in defensively. He's done a great job on the penalty kill. Done everything that's asked of him. So that offensive side will come.
To kind of garner how smart of a hockey player he is with this last 7 games.
You can tell. Obviously, it's all there. He's got all the tools. As I said, skates really well. He's got a big engine. Handles the puck well. Shoots it well. Checks a lot of boxes. So it's only a matter of time for him.
I know you like to watch a lot of other hockey, but how closely have you been following the Jays? I know you're a big baseball guy, and what are your thoughts on the World Series?
It's been really exciting, really, really exciting to see them go on this run. Such an exciting Game 7. Obviously a great hit there. So really excited about the World Series. I think all Canadians are. Kind of unique, I saw it with the Raptors, obviously, when they won, and obviously now, MLB in the NBA, like only having one Canadian team, it kind of brings the whole country together, which is special. That's what sports is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring people together, and it's fun to see everybody come together to support the Jays and the amazing run they've been on.
Are you jumping up and down, yelling at the TV, or throwing the remote? Like, what kind of sports fan are you?
I would say none of those, but I'm cheering along like all Canadians. I want to see them pull through.
You and Jason growing up, like, did you play any baseball growing up?
I didn't play baseball, no. Obviously follow the Jays, just being from Toronto a little bit. But no, never played baseball. I have a great respect, though, for what they do. You know, those pitchers, the way they throw the ball, it's incredible. And trying to square up a round bat on a round ball coming at 100 miles an hour is got to be one of the hardest things in sports. So I have a lot of respect for what they do. It's it's a fun sport.
Fun sport, and the playoffs are going to be great. You talked about Montreal, TR, and I know obviously you still watch the Habs quite a bit, and you know they're an exciting team. Now they've only played one team that made the playoffs last year. It's not their fault, but that's just how it is, and they lost to Toronto. But since then they're 6-1 against like Buffaloes and Calgarys, and hey, you still got to beat the bad teams. If I look, like I went through it last year, teams who made the playoffs had really good records against the teams who didn't make the playoffs, and then were 500 or 1 or 2 games above the playoffs for the most part against the other ones, and that's. And that was really how it works. So, they're 0-1 against Toronto, but, the Habs, I see a lot of people super excited about them. I'm not ready yet to anoint them just because I haven't seen them play a lot of tough teams just yet.
Yeah. I think that they're easy to get excited about because there's been a bit of a build-up, and even if you love or hate the Habs, you're always kind of paying attention as a hockey follower to what's going on in Habs Nation. And I think they've got a lot of guys that are on their way up that are already good that haven't hit their potential. But we don't know what that translates into the playoffs. There's been many years that they've had the same sort of teams with the same ilk, let's say, and they haven't gone anywhere. Of course, this is a different set of guys with a different set of goals, and it is exciting. It just hasn't been proven. So I think they're a great team to watch. I don't know about a great team to bet on yet, but all kinds of potential. And then they got dynamic players, right? And for me, they have Alex Newhook, one of 3 Newfoundlanders in the NHL. So I watch for that reason. And of course, I'll always have a tie to the team. But I think, Montreal has somewhat of a romance with its players, at least, the fans. The fans they're very invested. The city, the province, Montreal stands for a lot more than just the symbol, right? And this year seems like the kind of year where, especially coming off a year they didn't really expect to make the playoffs, but they did. And now the tough part is building on that, because last year was kind of a bonus that they made it. Now, if they don't, it's a step backwards. And I know people say, well, they're way out in front. Yeah, but it's really early. And like you said, they haven't played many reputable teams. But it wouldn't surprise me if they made a run. It really wouldn't. And in a year or two, I think, we're getting into some dangerous territory. But until then, it's really all potential. But they're exciting to watch.
I look at the Canadians, and I see a ton of skill on their team. And I think that the next few moves for their GM are going to be about building a roster that wins in the playoffs. Right now, they got a roster that I think can win in the regular season and be exciting. But I think they're just they don't have enough size overall, back end and up front. And so just different dimensions. But they have lots of good players, and I won't be surprised to see them move off of some of them in trades. Because you can't have too much of one thing to win in the playoffs. You just don't. Good teams have diversity up and down their lineup and different, bigger bodies. Some guys are good checkers. Some guys are physical. Y'all got to have skill, no question. But that's kind of where I look at the Habs. And it's a good problem to have, right? Like Suzuki, Caulfield, they got a lot of skill, but they got a lot of similar skill, right? Like if you look at their top 2 lines, now Slavkovsky is the one big body, right? And that's good. But I think they're going to need more. If you just look at Florida's team, look at Edmonton when they have their top 6 when they're going to the Cup. Like they've got now McDavid and Draisaitl's a superstar who's big, right? Like Caulfield and Suzuki are good, but neither one of them is big.
Yeah, and if you look at just the historical element of it, no matter what era, even go back last year, go from Florida, I don't know, man, right back to the 20s if you want, but every team, like you said, it's diverse. When I say the physical aspect. A lot of people, because of the era I played in, because of the way I played, think that there's an element of dropping the gloves there. Maybe, but they have that. There's really not much fighting anymore. But there's still, like, it doesn't matter. Florida, look at all the courage that they played with and tenacity and cheap shot. They were cheap. They were claw. They would do whatever it took to win. And usually that adds up to having players that are not only tenacious, but on the bigger side. Usually means having defense that are big. Look at all of the teams, even back to Detroit Red Wings. You'll remember Fedorov and Yzerman and Lidstrom and how good and skilled and fast they were. But then go down and look at the rest of the lineup. It always, it's yet to fail. And a team that's built like Montreal, I've yet to see win the cup. Now, could that change? Of course. It's probably got to. That's the way that's the way that hockey evolves, man. Different teams win it. But right now, I've never seen a team win it without that level of size, tenacity, and toughness to some degree. Each team, even the finesse ones, have that.
Yeah, no, it's very true. I would agree wholeheartedly. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440. Got a few other texts to get to. Hey, boys, how long do you think before they split up Draisaitl and McDavid? I would say until both of them get going offensively. That's going to be my answer. What about you, TR?
Yeah, and I think we're going to see it all kinds. It's going to repeat itself. They can always go to that, so I expect we'll see many iterations of McDavid, Draisaitl, and Player X as the season goes. So I don't think we're ever fully going to be out of it.
Quick break. We'll speed things up when we return. Gregor, Ryan, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by playalberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Attention! It's Edmonton Oil Kings Military Appreciation Night at Roberts Place.
Sunday, it's the Battle of Alberta WHL style as Edmonton faces the Calgary Hitmen.
Get there early for a pre-game ceremony and check out the military vehicles on display on the plaza and in the concourse.
And at every home game, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is king-sized.
Oil Kings Hitmen Military Appreciation Night, Sunday at 4.
Great family entertainment at Rogers Place starts at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudling. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's #1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Harris Schwiener. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
it might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win friends with salad.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
I hear the train.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 27th. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
3:45. Welcome back. Interesting question for you. Let's say you had two players in the NHL scoring race, and they're tied. There's not like you obviously want them both. There's do you play one more than the other in the final game of the season? Would you put them both on a top line with your other player if indeed one? Let's say this guy. Hey, we got to play him together. You play him apart. It's not really the same comparison, but it is an interesting dynamic when you're a team and you have two going for one spot. And that's where we're at as we get to the Racing Report, brought to you by CanTorque. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Well, simple. Buy Canadian, and CanTorque's products are only made in Canada, but right here in the City of Champions. CanTorque.com. As Colin Livingston joins Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan one again. CL, how you doing?
Man, today's been a busy day. Trying to get lots of prep done around the shop. We got a big anniversary thing coming up next week. So I was on the business end of a weed eater for about an hour and a half trying to take the things down. So
it's always the best part of hosting a party is having to get prepared for the party.
But it's such a nice day. I mean, getting to work outside is not
nice.
so bad.
Yeah, it's late October. That's pretty good.
You know that feeling like we've got a big gas-powered weed eater.
Oh yeah,
So
there's something about the guy on a weed eater. It's unreal.
My hands and my shoulders and my back are still vibrating.
Oh, but you're like, I don't know. There's just something about it. You feel like very manly when you're running the whippersnipper. Who doesn't? Every guy out there knows. There's just something about it. It's pretty good. Let's get to F1 and the McLarens. Like, took each other out in the sprint. I don't know when the last time that happened is, and I know that they're 1-2 in the race standings right now. Obviously, there's a real competition here. Like, I'm kind of torn. I know people say, "Oh, you got to just pick one and let them win," but I'm like, well, no, it's supposed to be racing. Let them race. What do you think?
At this level, the team gets a lot of say in how these drivers are supposed to race. Now, they say they've got quote unquote papaya rules that as long as you don't take each other out and you don't, mess each other up, everything's okay. But that hasn't really been the case. I mean, Norris drove into the back of Piastri in Montreal. Norris drove into Piastri lap 1 in Singapore, which kind of hurt Piastri's chance.
Yeah.
He's also had some questionable qualifying, like took himself out of the race in Baku, Piastri did, and then made a really aggressive move on that first lap that he really
aggressive is a polite way of saying stupid in that regard. No,
the problem with Austin is what makes it awesome. So when you go up that hill, the track feels like it's 10 cars wide. And then you can't see the breaking point. You can't see the apex. So as you get there and everything gets tight and cars still don't really have a lot of traction and guys are sliding around, it's really tough to try and find space. Like, really what you have to do, unless there's a crash directly in front of you, you just kind of have to point where there's nobody in front, still keeping in mind that there could be cars beside you. And what Piastri did is just made an aggressive cut to the inside. He saw a hole in front of him, but Alonso was on his inside. He got launched up and just through sheer luck kind of came down and drove into Norris. Like, kind of the best thing that could have happened for Piastri once he made that mistake is to take out the closest guy that was chasing him, but that left Max alone to go out, win the sprint race, and pick up 8 easy points.
Yeah, no, that part of it wasn't ideal. If you're running McLaren, what would you do?
I would definitely start backing Piastri. He put the time in. He had the more consistent season. You know, there's probably a lot of people that listen that are more NASCAR style fans that, you know, you could have a team like Hendrick Motorsports that has, you know, 4 drivers under the Hendrick umbrella, but they all have individual sponsors and they all have different commitments to different people, where you can't really say to, you know, Kyle Larson, you've got to back off so Chase Elliott can win. Like that can't happen in NASCAR, because then you've taken an awful lot of money from your title sponsor and your guy's not putting out his best performance. But in F1, it's the same sponsors on both cars. There's, you know, kind of parity between the teams, but I think you have to go with the one that got you there. I mean, they both had great seasons. They're still 1-2 in the championship, but the team itself has really, in my opinion, has really favored Norris, which has made it, you know, way more difficult for Piastri and put a little bit more pressure on him. Now we're down to 5 races? So 5 races. So it's like, what's exciting though, is that we finally have a contest for the drivers' championship.
Yes.
I think if McLaren managed it properly, they would guarantee themselves that it would be a Piastri Norris 1-2. What can happen the way that they're running is Verstappen can split the difference. He could end up as the drivers' champion, which would be a horrible miscalculation by McLaren. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, like they would have to kind of really, because if you look at it with 5 races left, he's 40 points behind Piastri. If he finishes first in every race and Piastri second in every race, well, then they would be tied.
Yep.
Right. So Max is, hey, there's the other thing. He's raced pretty good right now. TR, you're up.
Well, no, I was just going to ask about Verstappen, and do you think he has a chance to come back and win?
Well, yeah, I mean, they were nowhere up until the summer break. They were struggling. Their car wasn't competitive. There was all kinds of infighting. And then they skidded their big boss, Christian Horner, moved Laurent Mekies from their junior team, the V-Carb team, into the big team. And that has just seemed to allow their engineers and all their crew to work a whole lot more efficiently and get the car back to where Max can actually drive it. Like, again, Max was nowhere. I think he was 110, 115 points behind at one point, and now he's down to 40 something. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, in real terms, let's say Mexico this weekend, they've got on the Mexico City circuit is one of the longest straightaways going into one of the hardest braking zones. If they're running side by side, because these teams will create a lot of aerodynamics, they'll punch a lot of holes that the following cars should be able to stay close. If McLaren take each other out in the race and Verstappen is actually up front, he can walk away with 25 points where McLaren walks away again with 0. That brings the drivers' championship down to 15. Then it's anybody's for sure. So they just have to be really smart with how they're going to run and make sure that they don't take each other out, you know. But Verstappen is on fire right now. He's won 2 of the last 3 races plus the sprint race. He's not dominating like he used to. It's really coming down to how well the drivers are qualifying, because it's become so brutally difficult to pass.
You look ahead to this weekend, and Mexico City is one of the most demanding tracks. Also pretty exciting because, your cars are going 340 kilometers an hour, but then they got the massive long, braking zone. So you go from like 340 kilometers down to like 100 in like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
the wear and tear on that, and when you look at how the vehicles are set up, does this favor one over the other? Like, who's best at that?
Some, historically, Ferrari's been really good. They had a great weekend last weekend at Austin. Whether it translates will remain to be seen. But more than anything, like, the teams have developed these cars so well that, oftentimes in qualifying now, all 20 cars are separated by less than a second. It's these microscopic differences. I mean, right now, Max is driving very well. I mean, he's arguably the best in the world. So as long as he doesn't push too far, he's got the shot. But you almost don't want to qualify first in Mexico, because from where you start to the first corner is such a long run. Whoever's behind you kind of gets the opportunity to tuck in behind and make that move. Like, you could be really defensive, but somebody can still get that quote unquote slingshot around the leader. So it's definitely going to be a matter of qualifying versus just getting through, the first couple of corners. Last year, we saw Max on lap 1 take 2 10-second penalties for, leaving the track and gaining an advantage and forcing another driver off the track with Landon Norris. So I don't think Max is driving as desperately right now as he can at some point in time, but there's a big battle for second in the constructors right now. Ferrari seems to be getting just a whisker better. They're still not running the way they should. But Leclerc had a podium last weekend. Lewis finished 4th. So it's nice to see one of the top teams actually able to keep their drivers together. But just an awesome track there. We were there a couple of years ago. The environment, the energy there is just crazy awesome.
And you look at it like, if you're McLaren, because the truth of the matter is, regardless of them taking each other out, you can argue that Verstappen's car has been the best car here for the last month.
Yeah.
So how can McLaren kind of reverse that? Or do they have time here in the final 5 weeks?
I think they've already played their hand. It really seems like they've stopped the development on this car. They're not really going to bring any upgrades because they're focused, and most of the teams are focused on 2026. It seems like Red Bull is kind of keeping one foot in both sides, that they're still bringing little bits to their car. But McLaren just needs to maximize what they've got, and then really run the team game to make sure that there's no more contact. There's no more, you can still play games, but just, don't really mess each other up like that.
Hey, TR, have you ever driven in a race car? Like, have you done, like, even in the passenger seat in any place?
No, it's on my bucket list. I'd love to try.
Now, what about, like, have you ever driven, like, on a simulator? You know what a simulator is? Where you get in and, it's like you're driving the car, but it's a simulation. The car, like, the steering wheel shakes and everything, like it would be in a vehicle. You ever driven in one?
No, not really. No.
All right.
Video games.
Well, the next time you get into town, we might have to, because next Thursday, it's the 25th anniversary for CanTorque. We're doing our show live there, and they're going to have the simulator. So any listener who wants to go, and we could see who is the quickest Sports 1440 driver on the simulator next Thursday.
Well, not only that, we're going to have two. I mean, I don't have it, so I'm gambling a little bit, but we should have our new kart sim, full motion go-kart simulator. So you've seen our full-size one.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna have the full size one, or you could have, like, the kart simulator.
So we'll have two, so people can get into the go-kart, which is also full motion, as well as our car simulator. Open to the public. We'll be opening the doors around 2:00. You'll be there till 6. I imagine we'll be there much later than that. So
well, TR, next time you're in town, we'll have to see. How's your driving skills overall? Like, how would you rate yourself as a driver?
I'm okay. I would consider myself a good driver. When it comes to stick shift, I'd have to practice again. I'm all right. And of course, I've had some sports cars, usually been automatic, but I can drive a stick, not great.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't really need to know how to drive a manual to get in the simulator.
Yeah.
We can turn on driving aids to make sure that it even shifts for itself. It's just a matter of being able to figure out, the lefts and the rights, and just kind of develop a feel to see when you're going too fast through a corner that you slow down. And keep the car under control.
I really would love to try it. And not that it, I've because you've come on the show, I've tried to educate myself a little bit recently, and I watched some stuff on Netflix. I read up on, and I'm really intrigued, and it's something I've always wanted to do. Oddly enough, I'm actually in Grand Prairie that Friday, if you can believe it.
On
Maybe I
Halloween.
can look into.
Oh, you might have to.
Yeah, I am.
Well, you're close, buddy. You're in God's country. You might have to stop by. We'll see if you can drive.
Well, if nothing else, Colin, it's something. We'll make a trade somehow. But maybe you can get me out one day in one form or another, if it's simulator, or maybe you can take me out.
And anytime our doors open for the simulator, that's no problem. Anytime in the summer, I'm happy to stick you in a go-kart or, any of our bigger vehicles and see it. Well, we'll even throw in a pair of Depends just in case.
Oh, yeah, that'll be needed.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Okay, well, Colin, we'll see you there. So put out the shout out any of our listeners who think they know how to drive. The simulator will be open next Thursday.
Yep.
CanTorque, which is located on 146th Street and 119th Avenue. All right. 146-35, specifically 119th Avenue. You can check it out next Thursday. We'll be there live doing the show. So should be a lot of fun. We'll see you then.
Sounds good.
Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Quality markets. Healthy, good food. And you know what? Maybe you don't like cooking for yourself. Well, they got over 200 chef-prepared meals for you. Make it easy. Make it simple. 2 locations, Edmonton and Sherbrooke Park. And check it out online, Loca, LOCA.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game day with the Montreal Canadiens in town, set to take on the Oilers. Puck drop just after 7. Pre-game coverage here on Sports 1440 gets going at 6 with Andrew Walker. Elsewhere, you have the Flyers taking on the Sens, Ducks, and Bruins. Lightning up against the Blackhawks and Sharks in New York, taking on the Rangers. Blues host the Mammoth Canucks in Nashville, and the Jets taking on the Seattle Kraken. So news from the NBA is Portland Trailblazers head coach John C. Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones have been arrested as part of a wide-ranging investigation related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the Mafia. The NBA said both Rozier and Billups have been placed on immediate leave from their teams on the court. Just 2 games tonight. They got the Thunder and Pacers at 5:30. Then at 8 o'clock, the Warriors hosting the Denver Nuggets in the NFL. Week 8 gets going tonight. Chargers Vikings from SoFi. Kickoff set for 6:15. And Major League Baseball. Blue Jays announcing Trey Savage will get the start in Game 1 of the World Series when they take on the Dodgers, who will counter with a Blake Snell. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll talk to the Montreal Canadiens with Tony Marinaro. Also hear from Ken Reid of Sportsnet, and we'll ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, the Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
I'm Gene Principe for Legacy Heating and Cooling. If you need a furnace this Halloween, it'd be a grave mistake not to
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Need repair? Revampire your furnace. Just
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Legacy has a skeleton of furnaces in stock.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Plus, no interest and no prints of payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. Sounds good.
I'm delighted
Let's get to the Con Man.
In-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at CanTorque.com.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think you just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French
Which
toast
that
sticks,
line
bacon or
really
soft
had-
wrap, biscuit or
Clock.
English muffin sandwiches,
How are you on a-
coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
When you get into a new Tundra, you might find yourself hauling ATVs into the great
Jason
outdoors,
Gregor.
even if your last
Always,
outdoor experience was an outdoor barbecue. Because with this much towing capability, fun, it's a serious upgrade. All that's left to do is drive it home.
345, welcome back.
Where you can lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $145 weekly for 64 months at 4.39% with $7,999 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca for your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough
When the
this
weather
year.
turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right? Available now, only at Booster Juice.
When it comes to sports in Edmonton, Jason Gregor is a must listen. He brings you the inside scoop with guests from across North America. If it matters in sports, you'll hear it here first. Gregor rolls out weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock, Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you for Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Remember, Oilers tonight taking on the Canadiens de Montréal with the Canadians 6-2 on the season. Oilers are 3-1 right now, and Montreal, of course, winners last night. If you like the underdog, Montreal's a pretty heavy underdog tonight. I guess they're going with the back-to-back factor there. So we shall see. Once again, the over/under in the order games is a 5.5, which I talked about it the other day, but there's just not a lot of goals in the order games right now. So we'll see if their offense can get going. Like even the Vancouver game where they dominated, there's still only 4 total goals because they couldn't score. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. If you're looking for exciting BCHL action at the brand new Thompson Family Arena, great seats, great opportunity. Check out, get your tickets at sgsaints.ca. As when we're talking Montreal, there's no one better to talk to than from the Sick podcast, longtime radio and podcast host Tony Marinaro joined us. My man, Tony, how you doing? Hey, I'm great. I'm great. Give me your thoughts on, let's start in goal for the Montreal Canadiens. It's 8 games. Each goalie's played 4 games. One has better numbers than the other. And, I think Montembeault's probably played a little bit better competition early on. But what do you make of this? How intense of a battle is it for the starting job? Okay. The Canadians up front, that Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Caulfield line, and just how good are they, Tony? What is the best attribute they bring as a trio?
Well, I think they have chemistry. So Nick Suzuki is obviously an elite playmaker. He showed it last year when I think he was 6th in the National Hockey League for most points for center iceman. I think today he's tied for 5th in the National Hockey League for most points. He actually has, 10 assists in his first 8 games of the season. The first time any Montreal Canadiens forward has done that in about 30 years. Cole Caulfield's an elite sniper. He had a career-high 37 goals last year. He's on pace to score over 45 this year. He should score over 40. There's no doubt in my mind. I think Caulfield's the type of shooter and scorer that could score 50 at one point. What's amazing with him is that a couple of years ago, his production was a little bit lower than expected. And Marty St. Louis told members of the media, just chill. I'm working with Cole to make him a much better player, to make him a responsible two-way player, to make him a 200-foot player so he can have a better career. And you know what? Marty, I think, did an amazing job with Cole Caulfield because he's become a player that you can play in all circumstances. We haven't seen him on the penalty kill yet, but I bet you that if they would use him, he would do well. Juraj Slavkovsky doesn't shoot the puck like Cole Caulfield, and he doesn't pass the puck like Nick Suzuki. He doesn't have the moves that they have, nor does he have the hockey IQ that they have. But he's got the body. He's got the size. He's 6'3". He's about 225 to 230. He goes to the front of the net. He goes there to pick up the garbage. He's the F1 who goes in. He's hard on the forecheck. He's able to pick up loose pucks. He's able to create turnovers. He's able to find those guys. He does a lot of the dirty work that they can't do. They do some of the things that he can't. I think they're a perfect complement. I think it's no fluke that last year, 5-on-5, they scored more goals than any other line in the National Hockey League.
TR?
Tony, good to chat with you, buddy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. It's been a while. It's good to chat with you again. I'm going to be in Montreal at the Bruins game in a couple of weeks. I'd love to run into you.
I'll let everyone know. And your buddy Tony Anito from the obviously Canadian Box Championship always tells me a great story or two about Terry Ryan, who was quite the ball hockey player, and he still is.
Yeah, Tony's a good friend of mine. I just ran into him for the first time in a while. Montreal is a small world, especially the hockey community.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, my friend, what do you think would be number one on the Montreal Canadiens wish list?
Centerman, to support and insulate Nick Suzuki. The problem is, Terry, is that everyone knows it. Everyone sees Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon coming from a mile away. But the Canadiens have something that a lot of other teams need. They have youth, they have skill, they have talent, they have enthusiasm, they have a bunch of prospects, they have a bunch of draft choices. Because let's be honest, the Canadiens stockpiled draft choices for a long time, and they drafted a lot of players, and they drafted a lot of talent. They're at the point now where they can sacrifice some of that, whereas a couple of years ago they wouldn't because they were in a rebuild. They're out of that rebuild, Terry. They're out of it. They made the playoffs last year. They've turned the corner. They're first in the Atlantic. They're fourth in the East. And you know what? I think they're the third team in the National Hockey League that scored the most amount of goals in the league. They're third. I think they're top 5 or 6 in goalposts or crossbars. So just imagine, with a little bit of luck, they could have been first. And they're doing all that being the youngest team in the National Hockey League. They need a second-line centerman, guys. They thought they had that guy when they made the trade with Chicago to go out and acquire Kirby Dach. Unfortunately for the Canadiens, Kirby Dach has had an injury-plagued career 6-7 years into his young National Hockey League career. It doesn't get better. Tonight he's going to be back in the lineup after having missed a couple of games. He missed the final 25 games of the season last year with an ACL, MCL that required surgery. The year before, he missed 81 games with ACL injury. So same knee 2 years in a row. If this guy didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all. Still, the question is out there as well, even if he is going to be healthy going forward. Is Kirby Dach a centerman? He's not the best 200-foot player. He's not the most defensively responsible player. He's not the most consistent player. He's not the best player in the faceoff circle. Personally, I have my doubts. I think he can be a winger at the National Hockey League level, but his health does worry me. Max Lapierre told me a couple of weeks ago, he says, you know what, Kirby Dach should make some adjustments to his skating style. He's very upright, should bend the knees a lot more. And it got me thinking, If Max was able to pinpoint that, I would imagine the Canadians were too. So why isn't he doing it? Can it be that he's just physically incapacitated after those two injuries and he cannot do it? If that would be the case, obviously that would be very concerning.
Looking at their defense, Tony, as Tony Marinaro joins us, Lane Hudson obviously had an unreal season last year and signed a huge contract. They brought in Noah Dobson. It's super early. How's Dobson looked?
He's looked really good. I think last night he made a mistake in his own zone, probably one of the very few mistakes that he's made so far. He wasn't overly convincing in preseason. There were some people that were concerned saying, hold on a second, they just gave this guy $9.5 million. But he's been a calming influence. And the fact of the matter is that, 6'4" right-handed defenseman who skate like the wing and have a laser of a shot, who has a very, very good stick, who's positionally sound. Those guys don't grow on trees. Last night, he had a brain cramp. He tried to skate out of his zone with the puck, actually tried to make his way in between two players. Frost, picked his pocket. Puck ends up there for Klapka, who ends up scoring a goal, surprised Dobish a little bit. It was a little bit of an off night in terms of a mistake that he made, but he's been very, very good, guys. Honestly, he's been very good. He's not the flashiest. He's not the sexiest, but he's a very, very effective defenseman, guys.
Looking at them tonight, they go into Calgary last night. It's probably the first game where they gave up more than they would like, right? Like the Calgary Flames can't score to save their life, Tony. And they gave up 37 shots to one of the most anemic offenses in the game. Yeah. What did you see last night? Is it just a one-off? Did the Canadians maybe look and say, it's the Calgary Flames, they can't score? Did they look like a team that maybe took them for granted a little bit, or did Calgary play well?
Look, I don't know. Only they can answer that. I will tell you that traditionally over the last couple of years, as exciting as the Montreal Canadiens have been, they don't end up playing their best hockey versus teams that are in the lower part of the standings, and actually end up playing some better games versus some of the better teams. So that could very well be it. The Canadians had an off night last night. They didn't look good last night, but so there's two ways that can go, right? A lot of people have said that about the Canadians probably in about 3 or 4 of their 8 games thus far this season, that they were a little bit lucky to win and maybe they shouldn't have won. They didn't play a great game. Maybe they won because they beat a weaker team. The reality is that it might end up catching up to them, or the reality is that the Canadians are that good that they could actually not play their best, but they have 3-4 players now that have a lot of pure talent that when they decide to flick the switch, they can make the difference in a hockey game. Demidov is one of those guys. Lane Hudson is one of those guys. Cole Caulfield could be asleep and have 2 shots and score 2 goals. Nick Suzuki could be asleep and then all of a sudden he sets up 2 goals. So they're a dangerous hockey team, guys. They're a very dangerous hockey team. And once again, they're doing this being the youngest team in the National Hockey League. There's teams that the rebuild, they did it right. I think of Chicago, 3 Stanley Cups. I think of Pittsburgh, 3 Stanley Cups. And there's teams that did it wrong. I think of Arizona, who became Utah, and I think of the Buffalo Sabres. And there's a few, and there's some teams that, they've been knocking on the door. They did it half right, half wrong, and it's taken them a little bit longer. I'll probably put Toronto and Edmonton in that category, but Edmonton's turning the corner. They've been to the Stanley Cup final for the last 2 years. I think the Canadians really did it right, guys. And I'm not going to tell you that the Canadians are going to do what Tampa Bay did and make it to 3 straight finals, and do what Florida did and make it to 3 straight finals, or do what Pittsburgh did and win 3 cups, or do what Chicago did and win 3 cups. But I will tell you this, that if there is a team that is going to do in the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years what some of those teams did, I would think that Montreal has to be in the top 3 of those teams that could probably do it. They've done it right, guys.
How has Zach Bolduc looked?
Very, very good. Now, consistent all the time? No. On Saturday, he had a hiccup, and he started the season very, very strong. I think he had 3 goals in his first 3 games, all on the road. Last night on their 4th road game, he scored a 4th goal. He's already put himself way up there in Montreal Canadiens history as a player who has scored 4 goals in his first 4 games on the road. I think he's already put himself in the top 3 or 4 in Montreal Canadiens history in that category. He's a guy who was in the bumper position on the power play. Last year after the 4 Nations face-off, he was unbelievable for St. Louis. as a rookie. He scored 19 goals. I think he's got the potential to score probably 30 goals as early as this season. I think it's been a steal of a trade for the Canadiens up until this point. I hope it works out well for St. Louis, because I wish Mayu the best. But, you know, there's been some brain cramps every now and then without the puck. On Saturday night, there was a missed assignment, defensive zone, which ended up being the Rangers' third goal of the hockey game. But offensively, he's given the Montreal Canadiens everything. And I wouldn't be surprised, because he's had a couple of games where he has not played a lot of minutes. The last 2 or 3 games, his minutes have been down. I wouldn't be surprised when they end the season that Bolduc ends up ending the season on the second line.
Okay, because that's what I was going to ask you about, his playing where he is. TR?
Oh, I'm good, buddy.
Okay. Tony, always good to catch up with you, buddy. Enjoy the game tonight. Quickly, before I let you go, I know you're a huge ball fan. What's happening in the World Series?
Obviously, I'm pulling for Toronto. There's a lot of Montrealers who are not, by the way, because they still can't get over the fact the Expos left. It's like the Blue Jays have something to do with it, which it's not. It's not the case. I think Toronto's Canada's team. I think we all have to get behind them. It's going to be a really interesting series, because right now you probably have the best baseball player in the world playing versus the player who's playing the best baseball in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I hope it's the Blue Jays. I think LA's pitching might be the difference in this one. I hope I'm wrong.
Tony, I can't wait. It should be a lot of fun. We appreciate the game tonight. Should be pretty exciting. Now, anytime Montreal comes to town, the Oilers and the Habs seem to play a pretty exciting game. The crowd gets into it, so it should be a lot of fun. Appreciate your time.
A lot of talent there. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
There you go. That's Tony Marinaro. Quick break. We got a few emails, texts to get to. Also, Ken Reid will join us. We're talking baseball. We're talking hockey. We're talking books and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for zombie hunters. Those who know their old decrepit furnace passed away years ago. Its decaying husk shuffling around now as the furnace. Legacy Heating will send your undead furnace to its grave, replacing it with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Protect your legacy from the beast in the basement. It's time to destroy the furnace of the dead. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the Leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and I know a lot about how RVs work. I post videos on Facebook every week showing the weak points and how failures can occur. But even I don't winterize my own RV.
What are you saying, Rick? You don't think you could do it?
Oh, sure, Bob, I could do it, but I couldn't do it at a professional level. When you expect your RV to survive the harsh northern Alberta winter, this is no place for hobbyists. And I don't service used RVs all day, every day. Instead, I hired people smarter than me to do that sort of work. That's the team that winterizes my trailer, the same team that'll winterize yours.
Your RV service team works 12 months of the year repairing and maintaining used RVs.
That's right, Bob. If you want your RV working right in the spring, the real work happens now, in the fall. Our winterization packages start at just $99, and that includes a full report in writing. No surprises, just the great outdoors waiting for you when the last of the snow melts.
And that's no bull.
NobleRV.ca.
You're listening to The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Edmonton Elks Spectacular is back. Presented by Goodwill. October 24th versus the Calgary Stampeders, featuring pumpkin carving contest and more. Plus, we're collecting donations supporting Edmonton Women's Shelter Win House. Tickets at goelks.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian and 69-cent wings. You can also play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Jason Gregor. Terry Ryan, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hey, we're everywhere. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Maybe you got us on the app if you're outside the city, in the province, of the country, even in the US of A. As long as you have a 5K, you can listen to it in the US of A. So it's pretty good. Radio player, iHeartRadio, or Stingray app. Check it out. Today, Oilers tonight hosting the Montreal Canadiens. Tomorrow, there, of course, is the World Series for the first time in 32 years. The World Series involves the Toronto Blue Jays as they take on the LA Dodgers. The Blue Jays trying to become only the second franchise in MLB history to win this World Series in their first 3 appearances. Do you know, TR, who's the only organization currently to have won the World Series in their first 3 appearances?
Wow. What a question. The first, I assume there's some trickery. So first of all, you would have to win 3, and there's teams that haven't.
Yes.
Your first 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's either like the Yankees, of course, and then like 1920s, or let me say,
got a guess?
Houston Astros.
Houston Astros. Not bad. But you know who it is? It's the Boston Red Sox.
Wow, I was going to, but I thought maybe that they were like I said they were the Boston Braves. When does that go back? Because did they change over to the Red Sox or something?
Yeah, no, it's way back because they won the World Series back in 1903, 1912, 1915, 1916, 1918. So, yeah, it's been a while for anybody to win their first 3 appearances. Obviously, it's super hard to do. But so the fact if the Blue Jays do it now, and obviously when there's way more teams, that would be impressive. Now, it still would be, 32 years apart. But, hey, it doesn't matter. When you get there, you do well. So we'll see. Obviously, they're going to be the underdog, I think, in the series. That's fair to say. But, hey, the underdog has won before. And I don't think like they're a massive underdog. It's not like they're a terrible team. Like they're one of the best hitting team. Well, they are the best hitting team in baseball. So It should be good. Here's the old adage, pitching versus hitting. We'll find out which is better starting tomorrow night. Like, I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be destination watching for sure. Got a lot of people to text like this. We'll go check our text line now in the EUL inbox. Hey, boys, what's your recommendation? Best place to watch the game tomorrow night? I would say first round, whether it's downtown or West Edmonton Mall. That would be, that's probably the best one. I would think falls very closely. If you're just looking for fun for like people that like to get involved and they make it a great atmosphere, OTR at On the Rocks always has a great sporting venue with lots of TVs and lots of specials, and they ramp it up. They have lots of fun games. So those would be my recommendations for sure. Hey, Greg's, I heard it's your birthday. You do a lot for other people. What can I get you for your birthday? Seriously, can't say no, from Doug. Well, Doug, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm not a huge like gift guy on his birthday. I will say thanks to Cons and the fellas here. They got me a cake, which is very nice. I don't think there's anything I need. Let me think on that.
What do you mean? It's your birthday?
Yeah, it's my birthday today. Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
Buddy, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Trust me. I don't. I'm not a huge. I'd like to know how the tech emailer knew about that, but that's all right. How about that? How about, you know what you can do? This is what I would like for my birthday. How about this? In 2 weeks from today is our annual pizza pig out, presented by GS Construction, where if you like pizza, we come together, you get to try all different pizzerias. There's contests for who has the best pizza in town. And I'm telling you, like, if you love pizza, it's unbelievable. You'll always try a few pizzerias that you've never had before, and it's outstanding. So this is what I would like. If you asked a question, so how about this? How about I get 20 tickets sold to the pizza pig out? They're $30 a ticket. Okay, so that means 10 of you buy 2 tickets and you want to go next Thursday. So any of our listeners, if you want to go, text me and I'll send you where you can get tickets. Okay, there. That's something simple. It's not really for me. It's for the pizza pig out. It's for kids sport. It's a lot of fun. Get to bump into some listeners. So how about that? There we go. 20 tickets between now and 6 o'clock. That's basically 10 people buying 2 tickets each at $30 a ticket, which is pretty great. And it helps out kids sport. All the money goes directly to kids sport. So there you go. If you want to do that, there you go. Send me a note with an email. Say, hey, send me a text. I'll send you the link. You can buy 2 tickets or 1, whatever you like. And just tell me how many, and then we'll get to 20. There. That's pretty easy. I like that. All right. Now let's get to, we're going to talk some baseball. We're going to talk some hockey, and we're going to talk about the next one. As Ken Reid, of course, he is a longtime TV broadcaster and also a multiple-time author. He's got a new book coming out. The next one. Reader, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing?
Great, boys. Gregor, happy birthday, pal.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's nice.
Way to go, buddy.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. True story. TR. I went to the Jays game. I hadn't been in a Jays game in years. And I sit down for BP in BP, and I'm walking down to my seat. And all of a sudden hey, Gregor. I look over, it's Ken Reid and his son. So I end up sitting with Reader. It's unbelievable. So funny.
Yep. Perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was awesome stuff. So Reader, tell me about the next one. What's it about?
Yeah. It's about hockey scouts, and it's not a how-to guide. That's the first one. Other thing I want to tell you, it's not how you spot the next one. It's the stories these awesome hockey scouts have accumulated over the years.
Okay.
Gregor and Terry, you guys know enough scouts from hanging around, and you guys know these guys have stories. So I'm just mining for gold, baby. And when you get Archie Henderson on the phone and he starts telling you hockey stories, former director of scouting for the Oilers and former Nova Scotia Oiler, you're going to get some good stories. Like, I love Archie, right? Like, he's telling me, when I got drafted by Washington, my mom said I got General McNabb from Washington called. I thought I was going to the Vietnam War. I go, Archie, you were drafted in the late 70s. Were you not keeping up on current events? Like, the war was over and Canadians weren't subject to the draft. But he didn't know. And then he takes me through he was one of the first pro scouts in hockey for the Washington Capitals. And then he ends up running the show for the Oilers. So tons of great stories in there. Lots of fun.
Well, that is so. Now I was looking at it. You've got because Dennis Marouk was, one of the for a while there, he was one of the best goal scorers around, but was definitely not someone who was projected to be that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dennis was he was a sniper in junior, but do you think that size could translate to the NHL? But it did, because Dennis figured out how to make room. And And what these scouts look for, mostly what I found, they're going to look for skill, but they're going to look for character. So Dennis was a guy that would do anything to win, and they look for guys who will do anything to win.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, good for that. Now, of all the stories that you came up with, because you've written a lot of ones. Like I remember your book, the one I liked the best was One Night Only, where you know, it had the one game wonder guys, and you've written about guys who've scored one goal. So you come up with this idea about scout stories, the next one, because I'm sure, like, does it involve guys who they thought would be the next one? Is there? Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're swing and miss big time. And what I realized about that, and this will go, Gregor, to your Romeo of a co-host, right? And the lesson is, don't fall in love with somebody right away, right? Yeah. Like, you got to see a player at least 6 times. You got to see this player in a lot of different situations. Like, the romantic Hollywood notion of a hockey scout is, right, he climbs through a mountain and he comes across a pond hockey game and he sees the greatest player he's ever seen. Well, I got news for you. You and I can identify Sidney Crosby at the age of 16 and go, he's going to be awesome. How do you find an Antoine Roussel? How do you find Andrew Cogliano? That story's in there. How does Brad Davis, the son of Lorne, find Andrew Cogliano? And if Andrew Cogliano is awesome on the first night, you just can't make your basis off that. You got to see him 6 times. Maybe the goalie's girlfriend got dumped, PR. Maybe he had a bad night. Maybe Cogliano's playing against the weakest team in the league. So these guys do some thorough work.
I love how specifically more than one person told you 6 times. That's wild. The process
6 is a magic number, yeah.
Yeah. No. I guess for those listening, I had Ken on my podcast just a couple of days ago. Thanks for doing that. And I learned that, which is wild. I never thought of it like that. But one thing I didn't ask you, the process here to becoming a scout, are most of these ex-players that needed a job, did people want to be a scout when they're 10? Because some people do. Did some people, when they were playing, say, you know what, like, I'm guessing some scouts are probably doing a little bit of that when they're in their last years, knowing that they're going to make a transition. What was the common denominator, or was there one?
The common denominator is an absolute love and passion for the game, because nobody gets rich scouting. Nobody. So the common denominator is a passion and love for the game. There's ex-pros, there's guys who never played pro, but the common denominator is an absolute love for the game. I mean, who doesn't want to drive in a Ford Temple with no heat through the middle of Saskatchewan and Manitoba in the winter to find Aaron Asham playing AA hockey, right? You got to love it. You got to love it. That's the common denominator.
It is. Well, it's funny because I talked to a scout before and they said, you know what, there's a lot, like, people say, hey, you know what, it's a scout. Like, you really have to accept that, like, it kind of joked, if you're an NHL scout, it should almost be the no home league for scouts, because you're on the road a lot. You really are doing something kind of for bigger than yourself, because it's great if you scout a guy, and I could write down and say, I really love Terry Ryan, pick Terry Ryan. At the end of the day, if your GM doesn't listen to you, he doesn't pick Terry Ryan, or someone else might pick him before you, right? So it's a labor of love that's kind of, selfless in the sense, because it's a lot bigger than you. And when you talk to these guys about the next, you kind of hope as a scout to get 1 or 2 that like you slam your fist on that draft table when you're debating with your GM and you get it right. Because honestly, like, if you get 2 of those big home runs in your career, that's a really good career.
Absolutely. There's a story in the book about Rick Knickel. Do you guys remember Rick? He had that debut with the LA Kings when he was 31 as a goalie. And he became a scout for Nashville. He saw Jordan Tutu for the first time when he was just helping out at a Wheat Kings Bantam camp. Tutu was 14. And so Rick makes a little note. And Rick just loves this kid. And he sees him over and over and over again. And he is adamant that they have to take Jordan Tutu, to the point where he encourages his general manager to make a trade up. And they did. David Poyle traded up to make that pick. And that was, that was a great pick for Rick. And Rick prides himself on that sweet spot. He always said it was around 3, 4, and 5. If you can't find a guy at around 3, 4, and 5, you're a legendary scout. So yeah, it's a very selfless position. You have to know your GM's wants, what your GM looking for.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and it's kind of like, it's kind of like being in the media. You're not going to get rich, but you're doing it because you love it. And it's like being the lighting director on a Hollywood film. Ben Affleck's getting all the credit, but you're part of that too.
Yeah, it's very true. Now, where's the book come out, Kenny?
Sorry. Gregor, I should have reworded that. It's like being the location scout on Shoresy and Ted Hitchcock getting all the credit.
Oh, good. It was good the first time. Now I like it even better.
Yeah. And did you guys notice how slowly I said Ted Hitchcock?
Yeah, I love it.
Where's it available, reader? What's the best place to get it?
Sure, Jason. So the official release date was the 21st, just on Tuesday. You can get it wherever books are sold. I know there's a great little bookstore down on Jasper that I've dropped into the last couple of years when I've been out there for the Oilers. So it'll be there. It's on Amazon. It's at the big stores like Indigo as well. But wherever fine books are sold. And Gregor, what I've been saying is people say, "Oh, Christmas is coming up. It's hockey book season. What a great idea as a Christmas gift." I said it is. What's before Christmas, boys? What's at the end of this month?
Halloween.
It's not a hardcover book, Jace. It's not a hardcover book, TR. You can fold it, buy 250 of them and give them out for Halloween. That's what I do.
Great option. Yeah.
I like it. That's smart.
Yeah,
Think, reader, you're always thinking outside the box. I like
Always.
it.
The wrapper on this candy sucks. And the candy tastes like paper. Yes, it does.
Yeah, true. Now, hey, reader, obviously, you know what? You and a lot of others, including myself, were like, man, what are the Blue Jays? They're bringing back the gang, and oh my goodness! But here we are. They made it to the World, and a lot of their moves have panned out. You know what? Like you look at in-season acquisitions, how they developed Trey Savage this year at Single A and Double A and Triple A, and now in MLB. And you know the Bieber trade obviously has worked out immensely well. They didn't have to give up a ton to get him. What do you make of the Jays? It's obviously Jays fever in your hometown right now.
Well, I'm currently on the cover of I.O. Atkins and Shapiro, an Apology magazine, because for the last 9 years I've been screaming about them. So they definitely proved me wrong. I love, and to me it goes back to scouting too. They found Nathan Lucas. Nathan Lucas spent 10 years in the minors.
Yeah.
And he's starting in their outfield. They got Ernie Clement, who was released by Oakland at once upon a time. He's emerged as a star this year. They got Trey Savage, who was pitching Single A for the Vancouver Canadians. He's starting game one. And the thing is, boys, it makes no sense because they did it all summer long with Vladdy being 23 home run Vladdy, not Vladdy doing what he's doing now. They did it with Bo Bichette out of the lineup, and they're still doing it with Bo Bichette out of the lineup. Like, a hero will always emerge, but in the case of the Jays, like 7 or 8 heroes have emerged. It's a storybook season. Now, will they win? I don't know. Can they? Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah. What is your key, do you think, for the Jays to win? Like, is it Captain Obvious? They got to find a way to get to the Dodgers bullpen before the 8th inning.
Well, what they've done, you nailed it. What they've done all year long is they've had really good quality at bats. You'll see a 10-pitch at bat, and maybe the guy will pop up, but you eat up 10 pitches, and we all know how every baseball team is in love with pitch count. So if they can get to that Dodgers pitch, get into the Dodgers bullpen, then the games begin. Like when the starters leave a game now, I'm like, okay, now the game has begun. Don't pitch the ball to Shohei Ohtani will also be a key. If they can contain Ohtani the way they contain, say, a Judge in that series against the Yankees, then they'll have a chance. But don't try to be a hero. Just go up there and have smart quality at bats. Don't go hacking, but they've played all year. They remind me of a good National League team from back in the day because they put the ball in play, they have stellar defense, and they get timely home runs. So if they put the ball in play and they play tight defense and have quality at bats, I think they'll be in good position.
And lastly, Reader, what do you? I know you're always following things around the NHL. What do you make of the Habs and the Oilers very early on this season?
I was very glad to see Connor score the other night. That was good. The Oilers seem to me, they're just this is kind of what I expected. I did not expect them to come flying out of the gates. That's tough what they went through again last spring. The Habs are that's how you rebuild a team. Little water bugs, right? Now I'm glad they got some size in an Anderson. I'm glad they got some muscle in a Jack Eye. If I was a Montreal fan, I'd be pretty psyched. But again, I don't put too much into what I see in October. So do I think Connor McDavid is going to get a goal, every 7 games or so? No. Do I think the Habs are going to win at 6 out of every 8? No. But I like where Montreal is. And for Edmonton, I just think it's a process, and the regular season's become a process for them, and it's just you kind of get better as you go. And I don't think necessarily they're going to have the same roster right now that they're going to have when the playoffs start. So tweaks will be made, I would figure. You guys?
Yeah, well, I look at Edmonton, and their best guys got to get playing better. That's just as simple. Like offensively, that happens. The offense will come. Defensively, they've been pretty good. Now they got Wallman back, so that in theory should only make them a little bit better. I still think the makeup of their team, getting Hyman will help, but I think they need a little bit more sandpaper up front. Before the season ends, no question. And hey, the goaltending's been fine up until this point. Connor McDavid was actually raving about it today, but that'll be an ongoing one. And hey, we'll see. They got Ingram in the minors. We'll see what happens there kind of in a few months to see if he can come back. But that position's voodoo half the time anyway, except for maybe 5 guys.
Yeah, I hate to be the guy that harps on goaltending and say that's going to be a situation until it's not a situation anymore, but I think it is. And it's the easiest guy in the world to point the finger at the goaltending tenor nature of the position. And it's a tough spot for Stewart to be in, and they should pump his tires. The guy can come up with some big games. You just can't let those little squeakers in, right? Those are the ones that kill you.
Yes, it's very true. Reader, well, congratulations on another book, buddy. I'm looking forward to reading it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Remember, the next one, the ideal Halloween gift.
I love it. Ken Reid joins us. That'd be awesome, kids. What's this? Hey, are you a hockey player? Here you go. Here's a book on the next one. There you go. Mix it in. Oh, God, that would be comical. Absolutely comical to do it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, thanks. You know what? We already got 11 tickets for the pizza pickup. We need 9 more if you want to go. 9 more tickets. If you want to go, they're $30 a ticket. If you want one, let us know. Text in 833-401-1440. It's for 2 weeks from tonight, November 6th, down at the Ice House, all in support of kids sport. And I'm telling you, every year there's new pizzerias, or they try some different pizzas, and it's phenomenal. It is so good. And each year I find new ones and end up supporting them throughout the year, so it's awesome. So check it out. Let's get to quick break. We'll come back with 5 questions on the Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
They are nice, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
When you get into a new Tacoma, you might suddenly find yourself expertly tackling bumps and boulders on backwood trails with a confidence you just didn't have during pothole season. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tacoma 4x4 double cab SR5 from $117 weekly for 64 months at 6.79% with $7,699 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Ever had a problem returning auto parts? At Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, we do things differently. Hi, it's Lisa, and we're proud to offer one of the best return policies in the business. When you shop with us, you buy with confidence, knowing that if it doesn't fit or if it's not the right part, we'll make it right. For nearly 50 years, Ed's Auto Salvage has helped Alberta drivers save money, stay on the roads, and shop stress-free. Trust the team that stands behind every part we sell. Visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. CanTorque's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$450, Gregor, Ryan, Hallie. Game day, Thursday afternoon on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And remember, the Daily Grand, one of our funnest games. Our favorite game, even though I've never won, but maybe you can. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. God, that, like certain things you'd think would get old over time, that would never get old. How would it? How could it get old? Who doesn't like money? It's always nice to have it, especially if you have a little extra. That'd be always good. So, how many people out there right now are making $1,000 a day? Gonna guess not many. Right? Not many. Some of you are, and if you are, really good for you. It's about $365K a year. It's a pretty good cake if you can make it. But that now, remember, this 1,000, that's like after tax. So it's kind of like you're making 700 and probably 660, 670, guessing. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. If you're in that small group, good for you. Most people don't think so. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick. We're saving you more. Hey, that's what they like to do. And at The Brick or thebrick.com, you should stop in today because they got a 1-day sale for VIP people today. You can get 50% off local delivery. Also, 65% off sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1. What's happening tonight when the Oilers host the Montreal Canadiens?
I'm going 5-2 Oilers. And I'm going McDavid hat trick again. I am. I feel lucky.
I look at 5 goals, man. That'd be great for you. Oilers. I still, until I see them have a game breakout offensively, I can't predict a game. So I think it'll be 3-2, but they score an empty net or make it 4-2. So,
question number 2 for you guys. Pretty crazy news out of the NBA this morning with Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups arrested for gambling-related reasons. What do you think pro sports leagues can do to attempt to try to stop this?
It's a really good question. Well, to me, it's very simple. You like, hey, you're getting arrested. Like, this is bigger than just the game itself, right? So I look at that factor, but hey, make the punishment severe enough that you're done for life. Right? Like, I'm a big believer. If we made more punishments severe enough, people would not just think twice, they'd think thrice, 5 times, 6 times. Like, but then again, like, sometimes you're never gonna weed out the idiots who want to do it. Like, what was Declan saying? Rozier's made what, $125 million in his career? What the hell is he doing? He's sure not getting that much on a side hustle for this. So what are you doing? Right? Like, so I don't really understand it. Like, there's always going to be someone who doesn't have the common sense approach. I don't know if you can fully protect against them, but you make the punishment severe enough, that'll at least make most sane people think twice.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what can you do to prevent it, I don't think much at this point. I mean, you can, but there's always going to be, it's an easy system to get around, right? You're always going to have corrupt individuals. Yeah, and the reasoning, there's a lot to unpack. It doesn't make any sense from a lot of levels, but this has been happening. I just watched the movie 8 Men Out. Check it out. Look at the time and the place. It's over 100 years ago, right? And we're still talking about it. I don't think you'll ever avoid it fully, unfortunately. It's what we catch and what we don't.
Good point there. Question number 3 for you guys. What do you make of Trey Savage getting the start for the Jays tomorrow night in Game 1 of the World Series?
Yeah, I love it. I've said it, but to emphasize what I've already said, he's young, he's energetic. You're giving the ball to a guy. You're showing a bit of confidence in someone who's a little bit green when it comes to the major leagues. But I think in this sense, he's had a bit of success, and there's still a little bit of the unknown. And I think the Jays need the unknown, and they need the underdog stories. They need every bit of side juice that they can get. And it's only changing the order around a little bit. The guy reeks of positivity and potential. And you're the underdog anyway going in, even though it starts at home. So I love it. And I don't only like it, I love it.
I don't have an issue with it. It kind of made sense. I know they could have got, people said, well, Monday was Gosman's throw day anyway, but I'm like, they're going to start Game 1 and 2. So why not give him an extra day's rest anyway? And then let him pitch on in Game 2. So you know what? Savage has been really good for this team. So I don't have an issue with it at all.
Question 4 for you guys. PlayAlberta.ca is the Chargers as 3.5-point favorites tonight over the Vikings. How do you see this one playing out? And any prop bets you'd consider dabbling in?
I'm not dabbling in anything Charger related, but God, it's hard. It should be an easy pick to say the Chargers will win. But as we've seen from the Chargers, Con, no offense, they haven't necessarily been the most reliable at times. So, but I'm still going to take the Chargers at home. The Vikings QB play right now isn't very good.
I'm going to take the Vikings. I am. The Chargers showed terrible pass defense the past few games. I think Wentz has had 300-plus yards one of those games, maybe even 2 of them, even though he's looked sloppy. So I'm going with the Vikings, and I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to hammer the over.
I kind of lean with TR. The receivers there are very good, but prop bet Aranda Godson quickly becoming one of Justin Herbert's favorite targets, and the over-under at 42.5 yards. I think that might be a good pick. Final question for you guys today. Canadian actor Ryan Reynolds turns 49, sharing a birthday with our very own Jason Gregor. Do you have a favorite movie that Ryan Reynolds is a part of?
Pretty good-looking guys. Ooh, I like that. Nice.
Ryan Reynolds, the top of that totem pole by a landslide is anything to do with Deadpool. So 1, 2, Wolverine was it versus Deadpool, whatever it is. I find those absolutely hilarious. I actually rewatch them to make notes with the jokes, just to remind myself. They're so funny and, like chirps. And if there's one close to it, it would probably be Free Guy. I enjoyed that. He plays a video, kind of controlling his own video game. It's tough to explain the premise, but that would be the only one even remotely close for me to Deadpool.
I'm actually going to go maybe a little bit off the board because I thought it was quite humorous and probably factual for a lot of people. But remember, definitely maybe with Rachel Weisz, Elizabeth Banks was in it with Reynolds, and he had to explain to his 11-year-old about divorce. I just remember the movie. I thought it was pretty good. So I don't like Deadpool's obviously very good. But I'm going to go different. So I'll go with a big change. Now, I was going to go Ted because you said any movie and he was part of Ted, but I opted not to.
That's fair.
Because I thought it was too, like, he wasn't in it that big of one. The other one I liked of his was The Hitman's Bodyguard. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. So that's with him and Samuel L. Jackson, Salma Hayek, Gary Oldman, I think, is in that. So pretty good. Cons, you have a fave?
You know, I wish I liked the Amityville Horror more, like the remake that they did with him in it.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the classic's a better one. But just like, as the question goes, favorite movie that he's a part of, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It was released when I was at an age where I would like that type of movie.
Okay.
And I think his line is like, but doctor, why? Just like a simple thing like that. Classic movie, though.
Oh, geez. Nice. The other one was actually The Croods, right? The animated one where his voice is in it. A New Age. The Croods is pretty funny. I don't know if you could probably haven't seen it. Cons and TR, your daughter might be too old to have watched it, but Croods is pretty funny. So.
Oh yeah, no, we watched it. It is. It's funny.
Yeah. So I like it. TR, good chat with you, buddy. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. And who knows, maybe we'll see you in your Alberta tour next week.
Hope so. I'm really going to look into it. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton, and talk soon.
There you go. That's Terry Ryan joins us Tuesday and Thursday. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're nearing the end, and man, they're getting so close to their goal. They want to help feed 500 families. How do they do it? Every vehicle that they sell this month, they will feed a family of 4. It's a pretty fantastic initiative. See all their vehicles at northgategm.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. The Oilers are set to take on the Montreal Canadiens down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7. We've got pregame coverage for you with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro getting going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Ducks taking on the Bruins. Lightning host the Blackhawks. Penguins in Florida. Got the Rangers and the Sharks. Canucks in Nashville. And the Winnipeg Jets hosting the Seattle Kraken. News from the NBA today is Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier have been arrested as part of a wide-ranging investigation related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the Mafia. The NBA said both have been placed on immediate leave from their teams. On the court, 2 games tonight, Pacers Thunder at about 30 minutes. Then just after 8 o'clock, you got the Nuggets in San Fran to take on the Warriors. And in the NFL week, number 8 kicks off down in Los Angeles. Chargers with the Vikings. That one gets going at 6:15. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Tyler Yaremchuk of Oilers Nation. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Just
It's a
after
new season, Edmonton.
4 o'clock, Jason Gregor. It's Terry Ryan.
Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 4-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site October 29th to November 1st, 8 a.m. Live online bidding on offer core construction, heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered, including over $20 million of ag equipment. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, timed auction, on-site viewing start tomorrow. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
Sauce. Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Suits!
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth EE football coverage on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock on a game day. Welcome back. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca, your one-stop shop for casino, instance, lottery, live dealer, and sports. They got it all in one place. PlayAlberta.ca. Stay within your limit. Use your game sense. Go to GameSenseAB.ca. As we are going to get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, as Edmonton and the surrounding area communities are constantly growing, new houses and roads are built every day. Before overpasses and roads go up, first step, relocating underground utilities. That's where GS Construction comes in. The key to getting the project started, GS Construction. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty fair, man. What's going on?
Oh, you know what? Just well, I have to admit, I'm patiently waiting for the Blue Jays game tomorrow night. But also, I am waiting to see, like, when is the Oilers offense going to show up? Because I know it's going to happen. I just don't know when it's going to happen. Their 2 best games offensively this season, not so much in goals, but in actual production and in actual, positive play and domination, was the home games against Vancouver and Calgary, and then it kind of, disappeared on the road, as Connor told you and I after that press conference today. So I'm curious if maybe it's the home crowd, maybe it's the excitement of a boisterous crowd with Oilers fans and Habs fans competing. We'll see, but you get their offense going the way their defense is playing, they could go on a little bit of a run here early on.
Well, we're 7 games into the season. They haven't hit 4 yet in a game, have they?
No.
They haven't hit 4. Like, since when do the Oilers go 7 games without scoring 4 goals? You might lose 6-4, but you get to 4. So, I mean, that to me is the biggest, on a day when everybody's talking about gambling, you could have made some money if you'd have bet that to happen. So, let's start there. Does it happen tonight? Does it happen on Saturday? Who knows when it happens? At some point, a team with this much firepower gets to 4, 5, or 6 in a hockey game. It's got to happen. And again, in the vein of gambling, the odds are it should happen after 7 games. We should be waiting for it to happen any night here, shouldn't we?
Yeah, for sure. Now we'll get to that betting stuff, which was like prop bet manipulation, fraudulent poker games, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it wasn't all just for people listening. It wasn't all like this whole thing wasn't just about betting on actual games. Obviously, some of it was, but the fraudulent poker games are a big one. So we'll get into that too. But you look at the orders, and Matt Savoie, who I think is just what. I like from the get-go where the coach is like, I'm not going to put him on the first line to start because then he can only go down. He's worked his way up. And I think with that, your confidence builds.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think we need to be a little careful in terms of, oh boy, Matt Savoie has absolutely earned the right to be the first line right winger on this team. What's he got, 1 point this year?
Yeah.
So yeah, is he playing well? Yes. Has he had some chances? Yes. Are we, fairly happy with the trajectory on this young player? Yes. I'm here to tell you, if the Oilers were going good and they had somebody who's making that line click, he wouldn't, that guy would be there. So this is opportunity, meeting Matt Savoie, whether he's ready for it or not, right? There's a hole there, man. Trent Frederick didn't get the job done up there. They've run several different guys up there, a little while, Jack Roslovic, Thomas Sheck, all kinds of guys have been up there. And nobody's turned in a 2-goal night, or a 2 or 3 point night. So it's his turn, right? It's his turn. He's going to get a shot. Here's a kid that may well have had a Connor McDavid poster in his bedroom when he was a kid. He's 21 years old, so I guess he's only 8 years younger than these guys and McDavid and Draisaitl. But nonetheless, huge thrill for a St. Albert kid to head out in the ice tonight in a NHL rink in Edmonton playing with Draisaitl and McDavid. It's his turn to see if he can help, light a match under this offense, man.
Yeah, no, it's not like you're right. It's not like Matt Savoie is playing unbelievably well, but there's no one that's really, done much up there. And nope. Savoie in other situations has at least been a guy who's been noticeable in some games, creating chances, using his speed. And really at this stage, it's not so much a case of, wow, somebody is dominating. It's more so, who's done enough to get noticed. And at least he's getting noticed and making plays.
He is. Listen, in the end, I would be very surprised if it's Matt Savoie or any of these younger, less significant players who pulls the Oilers out of this thing. We know who the straws are that stir the drink in Edmonton, right? Matt Savoie, if we're waiting around for a kid who's played whatever he's played, like 7 and 4 or maybe 12 or 13 NHL games, if we're all waiting for that player to get Edmonton out of this offensive slump, that's not probably fairly healthy for the chances of the Oilers. The guys that are going to get him out of the slump are the guys wearing 29 and 97, a veteran player like Nugent Hopkins, a guy like, Mangiapane popping a couple. Can Savoie help? Hey, man, if he can help, they'll take the help. But I don't want to put a bunch of pressure on Matt Savoie saying, okay, son, get us out of this slump. There's a bunch of guys making a lot more money on this team whose job is to get them out of this slump.
Oh yeah, no, he's just a complimentary guy who might win a few puck races and get the puck to those guys. I think that's kind of what they're seeing here. And other guys that have been there, it hasn't worked. Like it's funny to me that usually you put the stars with guys to help get them going. I think there's a case of let's try to mix them up guys to hopefully help our stars get going. Because the truth of the matter is, every team goes as far as their best players take them. That's just a fact. You can have games during the year where your depth shows up, and that's awesome. But at the end of the day, and even when your depth plays well in the playoffs, that's great. But you still need your big guys to be going in the playoffs to have success.
Oh, for sure. Like when they talk about a new hero every night in the playoffs, we talk about some third or fourth liner chipping in a goal, right? That's what we talk about. The rest of the offense comes from the usual places. The Oilers formula, we've talked about it on this show, Jay. It's pretty easy, man. They get a power play goal. They get a goal from something McDavid creates. They get a goal from something Draisaitl creates. Now we're at 3, which is enough to win probably 70% of the time. And then if somebody else does something, now we're at 4. You know, you're the stats guy. What's the percentage of games you win when you score 4 goals in the NHL? I'll bet you it starts with an 8. You know, so that's the Oilers formula, man. It's a power play goal. It's a couple goals from the big boys, and it's somebody else, chip it in. And that gets you to 4, and 4 is enough to be I'm telling you, a 750, 800 hockey team if you do that every night.
Yeah, I would think that that's going to give you a decent opportunity to get wins. If I'm doing this kind of off the cuff spec, looking
what do you got
right now? So far in the NHL, there's been 80 games where a team has scored 4 goals.
Okay, what's their record?
Well, that's what I'm going to add up now. So of those 80 games, they have won 69.
There you go. 7 out of 8 games you win.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to see how many they've even got like a loser point in. So they've had a loser point in 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So they're 69. 6. What did I say? There's
7
80,
and 4.
69, 7
and 4.
Yeah. So
there you
it's
go.
not bad.
So
it's not bad.
Better than if you get to 4 in the NHL, you'll win 7 out of 8 games. And you toss in a couple loser points. That's the Oilers formula. I'm not breaking any ground here.
But here's the funny part.
Doesn't agree with me.
The teams that lost the 4 overtime losses, both teams scored 4 goals. So while the one team had 0, the other team did win. So I'd have to break that down. It probably hasn't even been 80 games in it. It would be a little bit different where because it seems that there's like that was early in the season, like October 11th and 10th, and there's 7-6 and 7-4 games, but there's been how many games now where 80 games where a team scored 4 goals, and 22 times the losing team has scored 4 goals as well. So there you go. And I'm going to guess that most of those losses came when both teams had scored 4. So either way, yeah, if the Oilers get to 4, their odds of winning will go up significantly. They're 3-3-1 so far, because here's the thing, Spec. I looked it up today. So the Oilers have allowed 3 empty net goals, which, makes their goals against look even more, and their goals against is still fine. But if you take out empty net goals, and I took out all the empty net goals, because empty net goals doesn't mean that you're playing poor defense, right? And even sometimes you can give up a goal and not play poor defense. Sometimes the offense just makes a good play. But I took out everybody's empty net goals. And the Oilers have the 5th best goals against average in the NHL when you have a goalie in the net. So they've been really good defensively. You heard Connor McDavid talk about, man, our goalies have been really good for us this season. We still would say mistake. They're making some big saves. And Stuart Skinner's being the main guy because he's played 5 of the 7 games.
Yep.
Are you surprised that Calvin Pickard's playing tonight and then he's going to play 2? So basically he's playing 2 out of the next 3 when your starter's playing really well.
Yeah, I kind of am. As you pointed out when we were talking this morning at the rink, it's pretty obvious. There's a back-to-back coming this weekend. So whoever plays tonight's playing 2 out of the next 3 games. So yes, and the way Skinner's playing, traditional hockey thinking says, why aren't we going back to the guy? But listen, I guess I'd say to you, Pickard's been good, Skinner's been good, and I'm not that worried about it. I watched Skinner play the 2 games he's played this year. I mean, he sat in there and faced 15 shots against Vancouver. I believe he was in net was he in net in Jersey?
Who, Pickard?
Yeah.
No. Pickard was in net against the Devils on the Saturday.
Yeah,
and then against the Canucks. Like the first game against the Canucks, he didn't have to face anything really. That was he faced 1 high danger chance, which is fine. It was good for him. So
I don't listen. It's too early in the season. I'm not that worried. I'm under no illusion that Pickard's going to start playing like 40 games this year. He's not. But you know what? When Connor McDavid said this morning, like he said, we've been getting unbelievable goaltending. And I think Oilers, listeners out there, if you look down from 30,000 feet at this team, and we talked about when the season started, would you really be worried if they weren't scoring very many goals after 7 games? I think we'd all say no. And I would ask you, if I told you that after 7 games, your starting goalie looks like he's having a really good start to the season and the goaltending is excellent and has kind of carried them here, that would be probably the best sign this team could have, right? Goaltending is the issue around this team. No one doesn't think that. And the fact that we're only 7 games in, but right now the goaltending is top drawer on this team. And frankly, that's a really good place for this organization to find itself because it hadn't been there for a while.
Spec, quickly looking to the Montreal Canadiens. Obviously, it's super early, and they've only played one team who made the playoffs last year. There's a lot of hype around the Habs, and which is great in a hockey market, but like, I'm not sold yet on that. I need to see them play some other teams just yet. Like, I still, I think they'll be good, but I'm not there yet to anoint them as a top dog.
Well, no, I don't think we need to anoint them as a top dog. I think we can celebrate the fact that we probably all agree they've taken a step in this rebuild. You know, they made the playoffs last year. They competed against Washington in the first round. Is that how they played? I believe so. You know, there was a competitive series the Habs were in last year. I know they didn't win it, but they were pretty good. They you know, I think we'd all pick them to be a playoff team this year. We're not firing coaches. We're not getting new GMs. They seem to have traction in their rebuild. They're getting somewhere. They're exciting to watch. Win, lose, or draw, the Habs are fun. When you turn on a 5:00 game out here before your Oilers play at 7 or 7:30 or whatever, watch the Habs play, man. They're tons of fun. So I don't need to tell you, Jason, that, oh boy, they're going to win a cup. I'm just happy to see that uniform that we all have so much respect for. They're like Yankees of the NHL. I'm happy to see it be relevant. That's all. They're fun. They're relevant. They're going to knock somebody off along the way here, and they're going north. I mean, I'm kind of happy about that, I guess. What about you?
Oh, no. Hey, it's good to see them going up. No question about it. It's always fun when Montreal's in. No question. Yeah. I like that part of it. I just, it's interesting to see, like people think like they're in now and it's like a no-brainer. I'm like, so I
think they'll take some points away from the Leafs this year for sure.
Oh, they'll take some points away from the few teams. Yeah.
You know, that whole thing out there. Florida, I mean, everyone knows how good Florida is. I got nothing bad to say about the Panthers. But, you know, they're probably a little tired. They got some serious injuries this year. Like, you know, holy man, I don't know how they continue to win with what's going on there. The Leafs, I look at their lineup and I think, I don't love that lineup. The defense is average. Their goaltending is average. Boston's heading south. It's time now for Ottawa. It's time now for Montreal. I don't know if Detroit ever gets there, but it's the turnover. You can see the turnover in that division. And I think if the Habs are going to start stealing some points from the Bruins and stealing from Florida and Toronto, I'm all for it, man. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Spec, we'll see you at the rink tonight, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, man.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. We'll return. Yaremchuk will join us. We got Cam Tait, the 2-minute warning and more on a busy Thursday edition of the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better.
Spec.
Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner. Unpack and adapt. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
Edmonton Elks Spectacular is back, presented by Goodwill. October 24th versus the Calgary Stampeders, featuring pumpkin carving contest and more. Plus, we're collecting donations supporting Edmonton Women's Shelter Win House. Tickets at goelks.com.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 4-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site October 29th to November 1st, 8 a.m. Live online bidding on offer core construction, heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered, including over $20 million of ag equipment. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, timed auction, on-site viewing start tomorrow. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
I hear the train
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 27th. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Game day continues on. Tonight, the Oilers home for one game. It's kind of like a pit stop and a road trip. They had 5 games out east. They come home to in the Mountain Standard Time Zone for a game and then head out to the Pacific Time Zone in Seattle and Vancouver on Saturday and Sunday. And then the Oilers are home for about a week with 3 consecutive home games. And that's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then they got a big road trip coming up in November as well. So it will be they got to get there. They got to try to make some hay on home ice for sure. They do have 3 of a possible 4 points so far. They'd obviously like to get 5 out of 6 if they can. And then they end the month. They got 2 more home games next Tuesday, Thursday against the Mammoth and the Rangers, and then the Blackhawks. Then they got 2 road games, and they have a 3-day break, 2 home games, and then that big road trip. That's it's a 7-game road trip, but then they come home for 2 days, play 1 game against Dallas, and they have 3 days off, and then they're in Seattle. It's a weird month of November that has them have 4 home games and 10 games on the road. So you got to make some hay right now if you can, if you're the Edmonton Oilers. We're down to only 4 tickets left. Wow, there's obviously more than 4, but someone asked me what I want for my birthday. I said, why don't we sell 20 tickets to the Pizza Pig Out 2 weeks from tonight? They're $30 a ticket. You can't get a better deal anywhere. $30 a ticket. It's on Thursday, November 6th, downtown at the Canadian Ice House. If you love pizza, it's an amazing place. Lots of fun people. Everybody has a great time, and it's $30, and you get to try all the pizza you like from numerous different pizzerias around the city and surrounding area. And they bring in trust me, they roll up their sleeves. They bring their A game. They like to have unique pizzas. So if you want to go, very easy. Just send me a text at 833-401-1440 and tell me you'd like some tickets, how many, and then I'll send you the link and you can go buy them. Very simple. So we wanted 20 today. Someone asked what I want for my birthday. I said that. Great. I don't really want anything, but why not? That's something that's for the kids. Helps out kids sport. So 4 more to go. If you want to go, let me know. 833-401-1440. Now, let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose. If you like choice, you name it, they have it. GoAuto.ca. As we welcome in from Oilers Nation, Tyler Yaremchuk joins us. Ty, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I am doing good. Excited for a good game tonight against a pretty fun team out in Montreal.
Oh, they are entertaining, no question. My God, if you can't, now I know it's the Flames couldn't score, but the Flames had a lot of chance. Flames had 37 shots last night in that game. So and that was really the first game that I think Montreal gave up a lot of chances anyway. So The Oilers, Connor McDavid, who I asked him about it, and he even said, like, good question, man. Like, I don't know. It seems like we're off. That was his exact words. Like, it just seems like it's off. They switched up the two lines. Podkolzin will go play with Frederick on the third line and Philp, and Matt Savoie gets the bump up tonight on the top line. What do you make of those two changes?
I really like the Savoie look. I think he's been really, really noticeable, even if it's not popping up on the score sheet a whole heck of a lot. He's had some chances where goalies have made really good saves, and he gets more than a passing grade for the way he's started the season in my eyes. And I think, a lot of people came into the year and the expectations for Savoie and Howard got a little out of hand at some points, I think. But even a guy like Savoie, with what I've seen so far early in the season, I think he can absolutely score 20 goals at the NHL level. And I think sometimes, fans hear 20 goals score and it's like, oh yeah, he scores 1 goal every 4 games. But like, that's just not how it works. You're going to have a hot streak. And I think Matt Savoie is more than skilled enough to have a hot streak where, maybe he pops home 6 in a 10-game stretch. And then he goes cold for a little bit and he fights some puck luck, and then he scores 3 in 3 games or something like that. So again, I've been impressed with him. I think he's earned this promotion. And I think one issue that's maybe been a thing with that player next to Connor and Leon, like Andrew Mangiapane has an unbelievable wrist shot. He didn't use it once when he played with Connor and Leon. And I think sometimes guys get put up there, especially if they've never been in that spot before, and they move away from their game and what makes them successful. They almost get like a little bit too obsessed with just trying to find the puck to Connor, or get the puck to Connor and Leon. And I remember I had Tyler Ennis on my show, and I bring this up a lot, but I had him on my show like last year around this time. And he talked about how when he got acquired at the deadline, it took him a handful of games of playing with Leon Draisaitl to finally get over like, oh yeah, I can play my game and it'll work as a compliment to him. He had to get over the hump of like, they're so good, they're so talented that you just think you got to find a way to get them the puck to be successful. So for Savoie tonight, try to not do what a Mangiapane did and truly play your game, and I think you'll have success.
Yeah, well, I asked him directly about that, and he just said, what, the minute you overthink it and try to do what's different, well, then you probably won't find yourself in the top line very often. So I think the coach moved him up there because he's playing really fast and he's been generating some chances. And so eventually you give McDavid and Draisaitl enough chances, eventually they're going to score. That's just a simple truth.
Yeah, and the other thing he's doing well is he's drawing a couple of penalties. And like, again, you draw penalties if you have the puck on your stick and you're not just in a panic to go get rid of it. Like when you're holding on to the puck and you're making plays, that's how you're going to draw penalties. So that's another thing. Again, I want to see Savoie today. Like hang on to the puck a little bit, work the puck off the cycle. Don't just be in a rush to dish it off. And yeah, just kind of play his game. Like you said, if he goes in there and is just the Matt Savoie that we've seen for 6 games, then I think the coaching staff will recognize that. And this won't be a short look up on the top line.
The Oilers offense obviously isn't where it needs to be, but defensively as a team and goaltending for sure, that's been the bright spot. And like if you would look and say, man, look at the Oilers goals against average, as I mentioned, you remove empty net goals because that has nothing to do with the goalies. Empty goals across the NHL, the Oilers with a goalie in net have the 5th lowest goals against average in the league.
Yeah, and they're not giving up a ton of looks. Like I even go back to that first game of the year against Calgary, and Calgary ends up scoring 3 goals, and then they get a 4th because of the shootout one. But those 3 goals that Calgary scored, were they amazing looks that Calgary picked the Oilers' system apart? No, it was just like dumb luck and dumb decisions by the Oilers, and the puck ended up in the back of their net. And they've cleaned that up for the most part since then. They've gotten good goaltending. Think of that Skinner game out in Madison Square Garden. So they're defending well, and it's also come without Jake Wallman in the lineup for most of it. And I kind of, again, view him and Darnell Nurse as like a bit of a swing pairing where like if Wallman can get the best out of Nurse and both those guys are playing at what you'd consider a strong level for their standards, then the Oilers have a really, really good second pairing. And if those two are sputtering, then you'll probably see some struggles from the blue line. But having Wallman back is kind of my point here. It should be massive to have him back and contributing on a regular basis, because this blue line, like they acquired Wallman last year at the deadline or right ahead of the deadline, and then there was a bunch of injuries, and then Ekholm was gone. Like we really haven't seen this Oilers blue line truly at full 100% health since they acquired Wallman.
Yeah, that's fair. And that'll be a good thing for the team. I don't think there's any question about that. You know, Wallman comes in, they kind of ease him in his first game. You know, not only is he offensive, he blocks shots very well, has good timing on that. He can be physical. I think he's a little bit of a kind of a chirper on the ice, which I think is good because the Oilers through 7 games, like, you know, there was jokes. Sean Brown said they didn't even need linesmen in their games because there's been no scrums. Like they haven't, you know, there hasn't been much going on other than when Regula got rocked by Kane. There hasn't really been much of a scrum. And I firmly believe the Oilers, you don't have to have fighters to play with emotion. And I'd like to see a bit more emotion in their game.
And I remember you and I had this conversation at some point during training camp, and I was like, man, maybe just having some like youthful energy in the room with Howard and Savoie can kind of loosen everybody up a little bit. And we talk about how like sometimes it feels like no one likes scoring goals less than the Oilers. They put it in the back of the net. They've done it so many times because all these guys have been around. And then it's like, all right, back to the bench. And like you see a guy like Jake Wellman. I know it was an OT winner, so it's easier to get fired up for that. But he scores. He's got the fun little head bobbing celebration. If you look in the background of that video, Matt Savoie starts bursting out laughing. Like I think Wallman also, even though he's closer to 30 than he is 25, I think he also brings a little bit of that like light energy to the game, which is, again, I think they need more of that.
Oh God, no question. Are you surprised that Pickard's going to start 2 of the next 3 games?
Really surprised. I felt like coming back on home ice, this was a very easy spot to go back to Stuart Skinner where he's playing well. It's an easy sell to Calvin Pickard where you just go, hey, doubleheader coming, so we're rolling with Stu in this one. The only thing that I can maybe think of, and we had this debate, Liam and I did on my show today, there are some bad playoff moments in that building in Vancouver where they play Sunday night for Stuart Skinner. I know he had the really good game in Game 7, but like I remember earlier in that series when that crowd was on him and they had to, go to Pickard. I wonder if maybe they're protecting Skinner from having to go and have a start, but like that's the only, like again, that's the reach I'm taking to try to understand why they're going this path of giving Pickard 2 or 3. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
No, I don't think it does. And if they play good defense, ultimately it might not matter. But I'm a little surprised. Especially if you just look at the numbers between the two of them, right? So at the end of that means in the first 10 games, Skinner's going to play 6 and Pickard's going to play 4. So we'll see how it goes. Like you could have went Skinner tonight, and then if you didn't want to play in Vancouver, just play Skinner in Seattle, and then you would have played Pickard in Vancouver if you wanted to. Now I know that's 4 starts in a row, and they don't really like doing that, so I can understand it. So maybe I think it might be more about they didn't want 4 consecutive starts. That's the thing I can see. It's the only rational thing I can think of, but I don't think you can be scared of Vancouver Canucks. Like if anything, if I'm like, hey, I'm liking how my starters playing, great. He'll play Montreal, we'll play Pickard in Seattle, and we'll put Skinner in Vancouver, and away we roll because we want to beat them again. That's kind of how I would look at it, especially because that'll be Pickard going twice against Vancouver in your first 10 games, right? So that to me is a little surprising too. Now, unless their plan is that Pickard's going to play Seattle and then Skinner's going to play on Sunday, so who knows? We'll see. But looking at the other big story of the week, of course, I know you flew in, went to the Jays playoff game. You're a huge Jays fan. What was the outside up until the home run? What was the best part of the game?
Oh man. I mean, it was dead in there for there was energy early on, obviously, and it was good. But then kind of the 5th inning and the 6th inning, and then even the top of the 7th, everyone was kind of like looking around, and I get a little doom and gloomy because I love the Jays, and I'm like, oh my God, like we're going to watch Seattle celebrate tonight on the field. And it was tough. And I'll say the moment, it wasn't the Barger walk or even the hit from IKF that just bled up the middle. When I looked down on the field and saw Andre Jimenez hyping up the crowd and throwing up his arms after he laid down a sacrifice bunt, that gave like almost everybody some juice. It's like that just shows you, again, playoff baseball, totally different. Jimenez laid down a good sack bunt and was so fired up about it. And that's when things kind of really picked up for the crowd. And like, again, the crazy thing about baseball is you sit there, you're down in the dumps for 3 innings, boom, swing of the bat. And all of a sudden you go from being totally dejected to, I was at the game with Carter Hutton. I turned to Hutz and I'm like, they're 6 outs away from finishing this off. Like that home run being as late as it was, everything that went into it, it was unbelievable. Watching that ball fly out in person was just, I'll never forget it. It was so cool.
What do you make of their chances against the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think even the biggest Blue Jays optimist will tell you it's not great. I mean, the Dodgers, they have a lot of left-handed bats. The Jays don't have a lot of great left-handed arms to kind of counteract that, although I do think we'll see a lot more of Chris Bassett in this series coming out of the bullpen to try counteract that a little bit. But I don't know. It's not great. That Dodgers team, like, again, the Mariners, 7, 8, 9 hitters, those were like visible weak spots in their lineup. 1 through 6, they were great. The issue now is going to be the Dodgers are good 1 through 9. They have enough good platoon guys on their bench that they can construct their lineup to offset any pitcher you throw out there. It's a tall task. I don't give them a great chance, but I mean, what's kind of cool about this, what this presents for the Jays is like winning a World Series at any point is amazing. And I would love to see one of my teams win a championship. I've never seen it in my life, but if they do it against the Dodgers, it's not just a World Series win. It's one of the all-time greatest upsets, I think, in World Series history.
Yeah, like the Jays are good, right?
They
like I was watching reading at MLB.com. Mike Farrelly wrote an article and he outlined how the Jays are like they're the best hitting team in baseball this year. They don't strike out very much, and like even in the playoffs, they got like 100 higher points than the Dodgers. Never mind everybody else, right? Like it's not just like they get singles and they hit for power when you have to. They like that Jimenez bunt when both of the first and third basemen were in, and he still put in the perfect spot to sacrifice the guys over. Like they can play small ball. They're better defensively than the Dodgers. There's no question about that. And so now it comes down to pitching, and I know pitching plays a huge role, but the Jays, to me, if they can get to the Dodgers bullpen, or because the Brewers never could, and that's really what cost them. They could never get to the bullpen. And the Dodgers bullpen has some weaknesses here. So I think it's the Jays have done a great job of scoring runs late in games. Ty is obviously we saw it with Springer. They got to get some runs early in this series. And the one thing they do is they've been pretty good at extending at bats. Even if they don't get a hit, they're taking 8-9 pitches in a bat. They can do that against their starters. Well, then they'll get them out earlier, and then they got a shot.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is especially early on in their lineup. And Bo Bichette being back is great because he's one of those guys who is better at extending at bats than basically anyone else in baseball. When he gets to 2 strikes, that front foot stays basically firmly planted on the ground, and he will foul off 7-8 pitches in a row. But if you're going to have Springer, Lucas, I mean, Vladdy's okay at it, but not great. But then Bichette, if 3 of those 4 guys are batting in the first 4 spots in your order, which I believe they will be come tomorrow, then yeah, you have a chance to, even if you don't get a hit in the first inning, that pitcher might have to throw 23 pitches to get out of it.
Yeah, for sure. It should be fun. Looking forward to that. And do the Oilers and Habs combine for more than 6 goals tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I was listening a little bit when you were talking with Spec about how the Oilers haven't gotten to that magical 4-goal number yet. And, Sam Montembeau's been struggling a little bit so far this season. His numbers aren't great. So, yeah, I think the Oilers will find a way to get the offense going. My only concern will kind of be that the Habs offense is also going to be strong, and maybe they bounce back from last night where they were only able to get 2, I believe, past Dustin Wolf. So I think we're going over tonight. It's one of my favorite plays on Play Alberta.
All right. Ty, thanks for this, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, no problem. See ya.
There you go. That's Tyler Yaremchuk from OilersNation. We'll come back. Cam Tait gets you his thoughts in the 2-minute warning. We'll also hear more from the Oilers on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground?
Thanks for this, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, no problem.
Bring you water and take wastewater away. That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-O'-Lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans, stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the weather turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
At the Nissan All-In Clearout, there's nothing more chill than financing an award-winning Nissan for just 0%. Enjoy the soothing relaxation of zero stress, zero worries, zero indecision.
During the Nissan All-In Clearout, get 0% financing plus up to $500 bonus on some of our best-selling models. You have zero reasons to wait. Conditions apply. See your local Nissan dealer today.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? By Canadian. CanTorque's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. It's game day, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game and use the promo code. If you make a $50 donation, then use the promo code Gregor50, and they'll give you another $50. Pretty sweet at PlayAlberta.ca. Time now for the 2-minute warning with Cam Tait, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change, no overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tait, you know him, you love him. Here's the 2-minute warning.
Here at the 2-minute warning, we're always looking for new ways, new ideas, and buckle into your chair over there, Gregor, new voices. And today we're introducing Jay Clampett to tell us about the big Edmonton Oil Kings game, Saturday. Welcome.
Well, now, let me tell you, I was sitting on the porch the other night, sipping a little maple tea and watching Cousin Clem try to lasso a snowblower, don't ask, when the radio hollered something that near knocked my hat into next week. Seems them Edmonton Oil Kings, rated 5th, yes, 5th, in the country, first place in the Eastern Conference, are throwing a country night this Saturday at 7 o'clock sharp, squaring off for a Regina Pat rematch. And I says to myself, this ain't just hockey. This here's hockey with gravy. Now, I've been to a few hockey games, and every time that puck drops, I can't help but think, who turned the lights down and lost a meatball? But them Oil Kings. They can skate faster than Aunt Maggie can chase down a bingo jackpot. Tickets start at just $20, which is cheaper than a bale of hay, and comes with less sneezing. And get this, they're hauling in 3 mechanical bulls. 3. That's more bulls than we had at Uncle Elmer's wedding. And that fella, he went and married a vegetarian. I hear tell folks will be riding, sliding, and falling off faster than a snowplow on a banana peel. The young'uns will be grinning big with them Western-style kids combos, which I reckon means hot dogs wearing cowboy hats or something deep-fried and proud of it. And here's the kicker, folks. It ain't all just whooping and hollering. The Oil Kings are teaming up with Operation Friendship Seniors Society for #Socktober. Bring a new pair of socks for Edmonton seniors in need, 'cause a warm foot is a happy heart, and Lord knows we could use more of both. So hitch up that wagon, polish your belt buckle, and come cheer, laugh, and maybe even yee-haw yourself silly. 7 p.m. Saturday, Rogers Place. Y'all come down, you hear? I reckon I say this here too. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Hallie, Kruger. Young Declan looks like he could clean out a granary. Or 10. Tait. Weekdays. Sports.
Actually, wasn't a bad. That wasn't a bad voice. The Beverly Hillbillies. That was probably a little bit before your time, Cons? I don't think you've ever seen that show.
I mean, the movie was the one I really got into,
Okay.
and Ashley's a big fan, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you go back to the black and white episodes; it's her favorite. So, yeah, what is it, Jed?
Oh yeah,
I'm vaguely familiar with them.
All right. Okay. Well, there you go.
Golden age of comedy.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very much so. How about a first period tonight? So the Rangers came into today allowing only 11 goals in their first 8 games with their goalie in net. 11. Like 1.37. Ridiculous. So who are they playing tonight on home ice? A team that doesn't have a win on the season. And the San Jose Sharks come into MSG and they lead 3-1 after 20 minutes. The Rangers have given up 11 goals in 8 games, Connor Halley, with their goalie in net. And tonight they give up 3 in the first period on 9 shots. The Rangers did score a goal themselves, Taylor Radish, and they scored 1 on 5. But my goodness, the San Jose Sharks, now their coach, and everybody knew what he meant when he said, geez, I give up one of my kids to get a win right now. And then he had to go back and apologize because our society's so over soft and no one can ever have a sense of humor, for God's sakes. But anyway, that is a wild first period for the Rangers. Absolutely wild. Like, I just don't know if they have enough offense to score 3 more goals. Now, it is against the Sharks, and they give up a ton, so maybe they'll be able to. We'll see. Elsewhere, Sidney Crosby of Jenny Malkin. The ageless wonders. Malkin has 9 assists already this year. Crosby just scored his 5th goal of the season. Like, is this Malkin Crosby circa 2009? Like, are you kidding me? Both these guys are on fire. Oilers fans are kind of saying, hey, Draisaitl and McDavid, chop here. Let's catch up to these fellas. So that is, it's interesting to see Malkin pending free agent, Connor Halley. Although the way the Penguins are playing, maybe they'll be adding. I'm kidding. But you know what? It's a good start. It's a good start for them. They've been exciting this year.
Yeah, good on the road. 3-1 so far. And you up with the Sharks. Matthew Celebrini, 2 goals.
Yeah.
Take notice, man. He's very good.
The other team that's off to a real struggling start, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are near the basement in the National Hockey League. Something like you've seen, like we got to go way back for the Lightning to be this bad. But here they are. They got 1 win in their first 6 games. They're 1-3-2. And midway through the first period, they are losing again 1-0 to the Chicago Blackhawks. Frank Nazar has scored again, his 4th of the year. So lots of East games, of course, on early. The Quackers, Hellenson scored, as has Casey Middlestad. The Bruins and the Ducks are tied as 1. Flyers and Senators also even at 1 apiece early on. And if you like tilts, Connor, did you see the Matt Rempe, Ryan Reeves scrap in the first period tonight between the Sharks and the Rangers? Like, there's 2 big boys, man, and jeez, like they're like Reeves hitting them pretty hard. And then they came back. They were up, down. Both guys' helmets go flying off. Like, that is a heavyweight tilt tonight. Jeez, both guys, like, God, they were both throwing hard, man. Like, Reeves can still throw you bombs. I'll tell you that.
Center ice at MSG.
Oh, God. Yeah. And Reeves connected with a few big ones. Rempe came back with a few. Like, that is, honestly, that's a heavyweight tilt. You don't see those very often in the NHL, man. Like, that is a slobber knocker, as you'd like to say. If you're a fan of the tilts, you might want to look at that one. I'll put it up on my Twitter feed at the end of the show. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregs, do you think when Regula's healthy, he'll supplant Emberson? Well, I think he'll get some more looks. I think they liked his game. But there's a few things like he's going to have to learn, man. You got to be aware of who's on the ice. He got popped twice by Evander Kane. You got to be aware of who's on the ice. Now, he might be ready to come back in that game in Vancouver. And if I'm the Oilers and he's healthy and he's ready to go, I'm playing him in Vancouver for sure. Get back on the horse right away. So, yeah, like he's bigger. He moves the puck better than Emberson, but, his defense stuff was all right. So, yeah, there's definitely a player there, I think. Now, is he going to be more than a number 6? I don't know. But if you have a good number 6, there's nothing wrong with a good number 6. Not at all. Coming up, Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, the pregame show on Sports 1440. So don't go anywhere. They'll update you on that, as well as NFL and more. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Terry Ryan, I am Jason Gregor. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. We always appreciate it. Let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Your next dinner is ready with Loca's Quality Market Gourmet Meals. Choose from over 200 chef-prepared meals. 2 locations, Edmonton and Sherbrooke Park. Very easy to order online. Loca.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Oilers in action, set to take on the Montreal Canadiens down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock in this one. We got pregame coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro coming up next year on Sports 1440. Currently at the first intermission, Ducks and Bruins tied at 1 apiece. Flyers and Sens also tied at 1. Penguins up on the Panthers 1-0. The Red Wings trail the Islanders 2-0. The Sharks have a 3-1 lead over the Rangers out in New York. Action just getting going in the second period. Lightning trail the Blackhawks at home 1-0. Later tonight, Jets host the Kraken. Canucks in Nashville. You got the Blues and the Mammoth. The Kings taking on the Stars. And check out the Avs and Hurricanes. They'll be wearing the Nordiques and Whalers jerseys when they meet just after 7. In the association, Pacers taking on the Thunder. Indiana up 13-9 in the first. Later on tonight, you got the Nuggets and the Warriors off the court. Crazy story as Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Heat guard Terry Rozier have been arrested as part of a gambling ring related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games. The NBA said both players are taking an immediate leave. Week 8 in the NFL kicks off in about 20 minutes time. Chargers Vikings from SoFi in Los Angeles. And Toronto Blue Jays announcing that Trey Savage will get to start game 1 of the World Series when they take on the Dodgers tomorrow night. Dodgers will counter with Blake Snell. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it's pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440.
A Stingray